We should always remember that when we come out and come out, let's not act like there's fight. Nobody, I'm not fighting anybody. We're not fighting anybody on this platform. But if somebody does something bad, we call the person out. We call Jack out always. We call this person out. Let us do. If I'm wrong, call me out. It's normal. Nobody. I'm not coming and stand for me like I'm a saint. If I'm wrong, call me out with all this thing. If Otuma is wrong, we call him out. If you when Nigeria is wrong, I will call you out. Does that mean I have a problem with you or I hate you or something? No. That's how you admonish your brother in public or in private, any which way. Please let us not come and act this. We now come and retreat and say this and not act like anybody's having a problem with someone. Nobody's having a problem with anybody. If you have your idea, you have what you feel like should be done, you do it. On this platform now, we have 3 different people that have come up on this platform and say what they are doing. And we are supporting them. I'm not going to come and stop you for what you want to do. And I'm not going to come and tell you that what you're doing. And I'm not going to say because of I'm doing my own. Let me your own should not go. Do your own. But as you do your own, don't come and fucking tell me that your own is the best. Or you force your own on me. If I don't do what you're saying I should do, I am this. You're fucking crazy. Let us be very, 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 very mindful. Listen, stop enabling bad behavior. That's the one with me I don't go like. Please. I beg, let's move on to the conversation. Madam Liberty, you have the space. Good evening.
My brother, good evening. Otumba, good evening. Please do indulge me. I don't mean to offend anybody, not intentionally. I have spoken extensively.
Madam Liberty, sorry, I want to allow you go on, but please, I don't want us. I want us to just let us.
No, don't worry. I'm not
please,
going to.
So you don't
There are
so you don't
things.
get. I'll let you go. I just want to trade. This is the violence space first. So I don't want us to now come and make this about anybody. We have topics we're discussing on. So just when it comes in and come out, I don't want us to blow back, blow front and blow. Just we have a topic. Let us hit up on this topic. Let us trend what we have to trend. Let us discuss issues. That's just what I'm here for. Honestly speaking, if not, I'll just off the space and sleep. Because I'm here to tackle. People are dying in the middle belt.
Saddam, I understand, but you know what? You guys are. You have taken position of leadership that the situation more or less has entrusted on all you guys that are big faces heading different departments of this obedience movement, whether violence space, whether people's parliament, whether P2B Town Square Save Nigeria. The whole situation kind of gave you guys this leadership position. Not that you looked for it, but it just happened to be that way. And you have hordes of listeners, people who have belief and faith in everything you say, in everything you do. Literally, you guys have that kind of influence to say to people, move, and they will move. So this is a perspective of where I'm coming from. To those who are in leadership position, a lot of responsibility lie on your shoulders. So you care not only for yourselves, you care also for those that listen to you, that hold your words like gold. Like, man, Saddam has said this is how we'll do it. Literally, this is what it is. So that is the aspect to which I'm coming from. And in the same way, I'm going to toe the line of well-meaning Nigeria. We are a family of like an hydra. We have many parts. We move independently. So somehow I know we will get to a point where we'll be able to be independent and at the same time still be united in the different departments that we are acting. So I will just move forward. I'm not going to dwell on it. So that was all I wanted to say. Please, Saddam, you have been supporting everything, and I know you continue to support everything. You know, there are tweets on the Jumbotron. I DM'd you something, and I know you probably consider it later. I know it's short notice because you are someone that if something comes to your mind, somebody suggests things to you, you'll probably act on it by the next violence space. So please look at that, and I know you will go all out to support that initiative, please. For those handles and the people that's organizing that forum, so that like you do with Pearl, you do with other people, you can co-host with them and kind of push it for them, if you know what I mean. So I'm not going to go into detail. In the meantime, along with all the actions being taken that we're all aware of, I want to thank everybody who is pushing the broadcast PEPT live petition. My goodness, people, we have gathered over 5,000 signatures and we're still trending up. So please continue to do this. everything will tie into every other action that we are all taking to ensure that we restore our mandate. So we are all like little drops of water in different places, and as we continue to rain, we will come together, form a puddle, form a lake, form an ocean, and eventually we will form a tsunami that will bring about a change in Nigeria. So I just want to add a voice to the Middle Belt palaver, which I've extensively been chatting with Saddam at the background. I'm not going to flog it. I'm going to trust that he will bring some. He's going to magic rabbit out of the hat. The same way, Sizzle, I'm going to flow. I'm sure Saddam will gist you too. So whatever you guys can do. So there's been a lot of harrowing, very terrible recount, and there are things that we will also be brainstorming the team that is coming out with this petition matter and other things that we would like to share with you guys when the time comes, so we can all push the whatever the agenda. This initiative by Byron, my goodness, that is fantastic. We will also take it back in board and see how we can support that action too and get people donating to that action. That is very wonderful. Omega X, you say, you know what? I'm going to do one on my balcony. I have a balcony just like you have done, and I'm going to take a photograph and I'm going to put it on Twitter exactly as you have done. That is a fantastic idea. So I want to thank everybody. My brother Otumba, see your body to the hot. I'm going to call you behind the scene. Me, I'm not going to talk to you because see your temperature is too hot. We will talk
No,
around the
madam,
back
hold
end.
on. Me, I just don't believe that in family
Eh,
you're allowed to fight.
or
Don't
say
believe what
Otuba, I
yeah.
command you now to mute your mic. I know you are close. Just mute your mic. Mute your mic. Okay, I command you. Yes, yeah. Take allow me to command you. Mute your mic. You know. So my people, it's a terrible time for our brothers and sisters in the Middle Belt. This is really horrible, and as we all know, it's been a history. Sizu, now you be our encyclopedia. I beg, we need a day of violence space where you give us extensive education of facts around the whole situation in this Middle Belt matter. And I'm sure David Tiodeyin will soon bring out a rabbit out of his hat. You know, whatever way we can give these people woto, like we are doing the principle of the Agbado Republic, you know, whoever group over they are, we just keep exposing them like we've been exposing and continue to put the heat on them because this has to stop, and definitely we will restore our mandate. It will take back our mandate and Nigeria will change. Enough is enough. This is just too much to bear. Thank you, my people. I yield the mic. Thank you.
Thank you very much, ma. Thank you so much. All right, guys, please let's move on. And Sabik, if you want to come in now, you can chime in now. Zos, anytime you want to come in, you have the space, so please don't forget. Yeah. All right, Sabik, you have the space. Good evening, my brother.
Good evening, Saddam. Good evening, Otumba, Sizo, everyone on the space. Honestly, I think I told the line of NCs we're getting fatigued about the story that is coming out of Southern Kaduna and Middle Belt. Something needs to be done immediately, sooner rather than later. I know forming the kind of army cocoon in the Middle Belt is not going to be easy because most of the governors there are controlled by APC, so it's going to be a tough one. So, and I think some Zari and some folks that have been to their spaces before are already doing some kind of conscious awakening where all the people around the Middle Belt should understand their identity, you know, and what they stand for, right? And that's a good place to start from. And again, we need to start, you know, people around the Middle Belt need to start educating themselves around what they actually want. You know, because most times the cry that we hear every time is that the army disarmed us and we cannot fight. But the truth is that that story is not coming out. We've not seen, you know, documentary evidences to see, okay, when you guys are trying to fight back, these are the evidences that we can push out to the whole world to see. The evidence, that evidence that you guys pushed out about 2 days ago, that mass burial, you could see how that picture or that video went viral. In fact, I actually tweeted that picture and tagged a lot of, you know, my senator and House of Reps here in the US, and people around here, I think Twitter actually, flagged that video as a warning because it's actually horrific. It tells you that it's actually doing the job. A lot of people will see it and start buying into the story, right? So what I think we should do at the moment is that the story that is coming out of Southern Kaduna and part of the Middle Belt is that there's this constant disarming of the indigenes so that these terrorists can actually have a go on them. If it's possible for us to get documentary evidences of how army, the military, is actually disarming you guys, then we can push out the story because something needs to be done immediately and it needs to be done drastically because this every single day we are hearing killing. Now there was killing in Southern Kaduna, there's killing in Benue, and again yesterday there's killing in Plateau. It just had to stop. And we know at the moment the government is not doing anything. In fact, some rogues within the government are actually the people sponsoring all these things. We know it. We already know it. So we need to, if we don't have help, if we don't help ourselves, let's actually at least let the world know what is happening to us. Right? At least we can start from there. And again, the Zari's team and other people that are doing some fantastic stuff, at least let that awakening begin. Let's start forming some kind of cluster, some kind of group. There's always going to be that security breach. I think it was Rhoda that said something like that. You don't even know who to talk to because people are leaking the information. But at least we need to start, having this cluster of, some folks. If it is youth that you trust, let's start forming something because this bloodshed must stop. The government is not willing to do anything. At least not this Buhari's government, not the Rufai's government. They're not willing to do anything. And so we have to take it by ourselves to see what we need to do to stop this. And the only way we can stop it is that, first of all, you need to bring out documentary evidences on how the military or the security agencies are disarming you guys so that at least, let's sell the narrative, at least maybe some kind of sympathy can start flowing in. Right? Because right now, every single time what we are seeing is this, gory images coming out of the Middle Belt and people are being massacred every single day. Let's not forget about that. This thing is not something that is happening out of the ordinary. People are sponsoring it and there is actually a motive behind it. And so every single one of us need to actually lend our voice on this. Okay, because right now I've written out the security agencies because they are actually colluding with these people. If you remember when this same killing was actually rampant in Taraba, if you guys could remember, it took someone like I think it was Danjuma that said it openly that the military is actually colluding with terrorists to kill, and then he told the Taraba people if like chickens. He said it. And I think we need to start imbibing that kind of courage to tell ourselves, if we don't do anything, we are all going to be slaughtered because this government is not ready to save anybody. There's an agenda behind what is going on within the Middle Belt. In fact, not even within the Middle Belt right now, it is going on equally in Ebonyi and Enugu and part of the Southwest. There's an agenda. So the people need to rise up and defend themselves because this government is not ready to do anything. And part of the way we can defend ourselves is actually to start having some of those documentary evidences and then we blow it out of proportion and let the world know what is going on. We're not saying that the world may actually come to help us, but one thing I've understand is that if you put more publicity on what is going on, these guys tend to pull back. Once they see that a lot of satellite is being built on what they are doing, they tend to pull back a little bit. And so maybe we'll continue having all these discussions and all this beaming of satellites on what is going on. Let everybody know about it. Because right now, All we see coming out of these places are just those gory images. We've not seen any documentary evidence to say, okay, we want to defend ourselves, but the security agencies are arming us. And that's why I tell Zaria and some of the folks that are doing some fantastic things there, let's get these evidences out. And then that will collaborate what T.Y. Danjuma said, that these guys, the military and the security agencies, are actually collaborating with them to kill people. And then when you are actually pushing that narrative, you have something to back up your facts. Honestly, this whole story about killing innocent people every single day, it is tiring and it's actually draining. And it has to stop. Since you said a lot of things about Rufai, Rufai is not going to do anything because he's part of the plot. He's not going to do anything. Because if he's going to do something, you can imagine that they were having mass burial in southern Kaduna and Rufai was going somewhere else to attend coronation of an emir. So that tells you where his mind is. So we can wait for this government. And that's why it's so important that we need to do anything within our power, however we can do it, to make sure we reclaim this PO's mandate, because it's critical. Not only on the economic front, but on the security front and the life and properties of Nigerians. It's really critical to make sure that we reclaim this mandate, because we cannot afford to live this kind of life in the next couple of years. It's not possible. Nigeria is at a breaking point. Nigeria is at a breaking point right now. If anything happens now, it's going to trigger a lot of things. And so we need to do anything to retrieve that mandate. The truth is that when we talked about APC as a political party, a lot of people have said that APC is a terrorist party, and I think I buy into that idea, because if you look at what happened in 2015, immediately APC came into power. One of the things they did was going after the institutions one after the other. All those institutions that they know that are going to serve justice, they started going after them. And so right now, they have actually captured all the institutions. Nobody wants to challenge them on anything. You can't. The judiciary can challenge them. The military can challenge them. The police, the DSS, every single one of these government apparatus that seemingly should be independent are all APCs just using it to do anything, anyhow they want it. And so it's left for Nigerians to say, are we going to allow this to continue or not? There should be a time when we need to say enough is enough. And so whatever you are doing to make sure that you support PO to reclaim this mandate, because that's actually the tipping point. And I can tell you, if this mandate is not reclaimed, God forbid, Nigeria will never remain the same. Because the handwriting is on the wall. It's all over the place. Nigerians are tired. Nigerians are just waiting to see if the justices can actually rise up to the occasion and save the nation from the brink. So each and every one of us, whatever we are doing, please, and this issue about, you must do what we want to do. If you're not doing it, you're not a member of Obedient, or you are selling out, it just has to stop. Do the bit you can. And let me borrow one of the languages of mindset, what he normally says. Anything that you can do within the ambient of the law to help the cause, go ahead and do it. I think I like that quote. So please, each and every one of us, we have actually been putting our bit since this Obedient movement started. Let's not start, to lord the thing we are doing over others. Do the bit you can. If you can protest peacefully, go ahead and protest. If your one is to, do class actions to bring INEC to, go ahead. If you're in the diaspora, you can call your representative, your senators, your House of Rep members, and all this. Go ahead and call them. Put exposure on what is going on in Nigeria. If you have friends in the media, go ahead and use them. Because this fight we are fighting right now is a multifaceted fight that we need to do a whole lot of things to make sure that we continue to put pressure on these guys. A good example is just what David Hunde did a few days back. Just by releasing that Bola Ahmed Tinubu citizenship in Guinea, you could see the level of tsunami that thing brought into the system. But it's not a protest. It's not a protest. So there's so many things we can do that can actually add pressure into the system to make sure the judges do the right thing. And so people shouldn't be feeling like, if guys are not joining protests, maybe they are not doing the right thing. No. And I always remind us of one thing. The protest that we want everybody to go in and protest, the one that was protested in 2020, and I use it as an example, the media that we wanted to help us drive the narrative, at a point, all of them went back. They couldn't do anything. So we need to understand that some of these things that we see happening, protests, the media will carry it. No, that is not. We've moved on to 21st century, environment where social media actually control a lot of things that happen right now. Social media control it. So please, let's try to make sure that we moderate the way that we talk, the way we see each other. We are all in this together. And one thing that we are all fighting for is to reclaim that mandate. And that mandate has to be reclaimed. However we do it, it's okay, but it has to be within the ambit of the law, but we need to reclaim the mandate. Because this APC government, it cannot just allow to be continued. It's not possible. Because if they continue, I bet you Nigeria might not be the same ever again. Thank you, Saddam. I yield the mic.
Thank you very much, Savik. Thank you very much, my brother. Thank you.
As usual, by the time you come up on the space, there will be so many topics that you would have forgotten what you wanted to say. But anyway,
No, Pedro, that's why we have topic up there. There are so many topics. Just look at
I
what up
know.
there.
Oh yes, yes. I'm gonna follow the topic. Thank you. Talking about this Kaduna and Adamawa thing. Um, and I'm not just speaking as a Christian. And I have Muslims in my family as well. So, and I have other Muslims that I know that actually, uh, work for my family that are, that I cherish. But talking about just humanity itself, um, it's very painful to see what's going on in Nigeria. And there was one thing that channels, when Pearls was hosting the space and you, Emir, there was, I think it was, I'm not sure if it was Well Mill in Nigeria or Real Ever Best. I always mix the two of them up. I don't know why. Um, but one of them was saying that they had watched the video and what Fashola was saying at that time. And so just a few days, I watched the video and then I heard Fashola talking, and when he was talking about a particular area where they used to go to that area to retrieve dead bodies. And the way he just said it so casually as a governor. You know, there was no empathy, sympathy, compassion. It was like retrieving dead bodies like you were retrieving rags. There's this mentality in Nigeria, that it's like there's no value. Even Africa, let's just say Africa, because what's going on in Sudan is appalling. And what was going on in Ethiopia too was appalling. So we don't have, I don't know why I don't know if we don't see ourselves as human. My dad used to say that, so it looks like sometimes Africans think they're animals because the way we treat each other like we're an animal. I don't understand why. Because, okay, let's say you don't even want to think about your religion. Okay, so think about your humanity as a human being. as part of this race, you know, if seeing Igbo people's houses get burnt doesn't affect you, you are not human. If seeing children get kidnapped doesn't affect you, you're not human. If seeing that boy that they've been posting on Twitter that is lost and nobody knows where his guidance and his parents going straight to hell, because there's no way there's 70 virgins waiting for you anywhere or anywhere in any world at all. Please. So we just need to appeal to each other as humans. And for anybody that is talking about courage is when you consider other people, when you consider the lives of others. So far, the PDP hasn't talked about protest. Has anybody thought about that? Is Obi the only person? Is Obi the only person that was wronged? Even though we know PDP rigged as well, but why aren't they angry enough to protest too? I don't understand.
No, sorry, ma. PDP has actually protested. They have protested, safe, and they gave up. But continue.
Thank you. Thank you, Saddam. I didn't even know that because it didn't make the news over here. The only one I saw was the Abuja protest, because the PDP one obviously was not even helpful. So why we belaboring a point that is useless? Please, children on the street, right? This is the thing that people don't understand about this movement. Those kids, school children that were given their time to make little posters and tell their friends about Obi and tell their friends about voting, they had as much of a value to this movement as the person who donated 500 billion, if there was such a person. So please, let's remember each of our values. The fact that people aren't coming to Twitter and saying what they can do because they don't have the money for data doesn't mean they're not doing plenty. And in fact, I get very offended when people talk about, what I'm doing with all my money and the rest of it. Because you, with your money, how far have we gotten in Nigeria? What about those little kids that have no money? That is their words, and their words are powerful. So please, let's leave class and all that nonsense out of it. This is about Nigeria, and this is about delivering our countries from demons. Sizzle, I love you, my brother, my intellectual brother. El Rufai, he went on exile after EFCC was probing him for all the houses he stole, like Tinubu in Abuja, and he sold them. Same thing Tinubu did in Lagos. Same thing, no difference, like carbon copy. And it too had presidential aspirations. In their head, they think they have to steal from everybody and everything and impoverish our people in order for them to make it as a president. I don't understand that mentality. I just don't understand. So they were probing for 32 billion. Can you imagine stealing 32 billion naira in property? And probably that's the only one that they even know about. What about the ones they didn't even know about? And then in Kaduna, they were probing again for another 3 billion in a contract scam. So I don't understand. I don't understand why we just can't move forward. Why we can't move forward in Nigeria. If right now Peter Obi decides that he's going to collect money from diasporans, he decides he doesn't even want to use his own money, collect money from diasporans to go and pay all the agberos, to start fighting everybody in APC, he'll be done with them in one day. If every one of us in diaspora gave money. But this is not what we want to do, because we're peacemakers. Bible says peace, those who love peace, peacemakers, they will inherit heaven. So this movement was based on peace. It needs to stay based on peace. Do your day where you are, please. And there was this scripture that God gave me. I just want to share it quickly. Oh, plus, sorry, one more thing I just want to say before I share that scripture. DSS and police and military, I understand what Auntie Bolale was saying about how they feel like they're losing their people and everything when they go into fight. Then you come out and speak up and tell us all the orishi that they've been doing. Come up and speak up and tell us all the orishi and expose them. Because I met a military officer in Lagos a couple of years ago, and he was telling me that military knows exactly who is heading Boko Haram and what they are all and the rest of it. So the information is there. And DSS, your intelligence doesn't seem to be benefiting us. Because, first of all, okay, fine, PDP should do opposition research and they should have found Tinubu's
My sister,
passport.
they do DSS job is to serve as handbag for politicians, Jerry. That's what they know how to do. That's the only job. That's the only intelligence they provide. If you're carrying soup and the handbags, that's the only thing. And carrying food for them out there. I've never seen a more intelligent, useless intelligence agency in the world than the so-called DSS we have in Nigeria.
I know, Otumba, but my appeal is that, God will touch these people's heart. Okay, and then let me go to that scripture because I see Saddam's waving as well. So the scripture says, if my people who are called by my name shall humble themselves and pray and turn from their wicked ways, that God says he will heal our land. We need a healing. We need a healing. Please, everyone, if you're doing from today onwards, whatever you are doing, or rishi that you are doing, that is related to wickedness, whether it's selling your body or whatever else, that is related to wickedness. And I'm talking to Christians, Muslims, traditionalists, whatever you are. Please, just this from today, repent and just turn, so that this way God will have mercy on us and start changing hearts of our leaders as well. In their dream, God will visit them. Please, thank you. I yield the mic. Thank you so much for letting me talk.
Thank you very much, my sister Pedro. Thank you. All right, let's move on real quick. I think Kolade, you were here, you fell off. I don't know, you can chime in. Please, guys, watch up us up there for waving our hands. We have plenty of people that want to speak, so I'll allow people to speak. I beg, but I know vex, So try and make the submission as short as possible. Thank you, bro. Go on.
Hey, Saddam. Thank you so very much, my brother.
How is your
Sizu.
earpiece, bro?
Hello?
How is your earpiece?
Yes.
Please, if you could take it off, please. There's this.
Okay now.
Go on.
Okay. Thank you so much, Otumba, Sizu, and everybody on the space. That way, Southern Kaduna. It is so unfortunate what is happening there. But in all of this, one thing is clear. The system has failed the people. It is obvious. But it is high time. Where are our religious leaders? Where are our religious leaders? At least about. It is so sad when I saw the graphics, the video of the mass burial. I was like, this is happening and nobody is saying anything. Mr. President is saying he's in Mecca and most of his cabinet people. And I'm like, what exactly is happening? What and how do they want God to answer their prayers? It's sad and it's so unfortunate. Emir, please, you will permit me to please just say one. It's just for lesson's sake about my experience yesterday, if you don't mind. It's just for lesson's sake because there's a big lesson I saw in it, and if we can learn from it, it will help every one of us. Would you allow me?
Go on, sir.
Okay, thank you. So, yesterday, on Saturday, I was on this space. I gave my candid submission. And it's just my own candid. Nobody, I don't do space. I've never been to space. It was this violent space I joined about, was it last month? And I was like, wow. So we have people we have intellectuals who would contribute. And I started contributing. Before then, I don't do any space. I've just been doing my own one-man obedience in my own little way. I don't even know there were a group of people doing things all over the place. I never knew. But in my own little way, I've been doing what I can, and I'm glad I did what I could do. And ever since I've been doing, I contribute and I drop to the listening space. And I went to a space yesterday believing that, oh, this is our space. And I was just listening. And somebody on that space was like, oh, we have some people who are the last space yesterday that they even genuinely want to hear why they are opposed to a protest. Genuinely, a lady, is this Castle? I can't remember her name. Genuinely.
My
And,
brother, please.
okay.
If you
Okay.
can
So
just let us know
yes,
the
okay.
lessons, please. I don't.
So the lesson
I don't.
yeah, the lesson is where I will go to now. So let me just save all that. The lesson there for me is we all we all are in a place of authority in one way or the other. What we are fighting today is injustice, is like people who have power and who are using that power over those who they are over. You get it? So the lesson I learned yesterday when I sat down and looked at it, I was like, okay, somebody has the power to host a platform, and because you host that platform, because you have the power to bring up and take down anybody on the platform, and you use that power in a way that you were practically declaring war without giving the other party even a, you are practically telling the person that no, you cannot say anything, and this is my whatever. You are the doesn't. I'm like, this is just mere. So we are complaining about our leaders. I can never imagine. Otuba, I've watched you guys. Emir, I've watched you guys. So even when you disagree with people, you mute them, you don't take them away, and after that you will say, okay, please round up or say your whatever, but you make your point not in between. But I just look at it, what played out like this is just how people are oppressed. This is how people, in my own little way, like, come on, this is just a little position of authority. Now imagine such whatever, now having a bigger place of authority, maybe a minister or a president. That means nobody will even hear their views, or you will even like, no, because I am this, nothing will happen. You are this, you are that. That is all I learned all on in what played out. But above that, above all, we are all fighting one goal, one common goal. We should not lose track. This is not a time for us to start creating enmity or declaring war or thinking some are for or against or whatever. Please let us all just, in whatever way we can. Look, God made all of us separately, individually. We all have a unique talent, a unique gift that we can use to achieve our to retrieve our stolen mandate. Let us use it in the area, David, that we are all saying. David, I will do what I can do within my own space. Enya is doing what he can do within his own space. So, like every one of us, have something we can do within our own space. You don't have to have all the money. You don't have to know all the people. You don't have to have all the followership. But it is that thing you do faithfully that God will reward. And when that better Nigeria comes, it shall be well with us and our family and generations to come, because we fought the good fight and we saw it to the end. And God will crown our effort with success. Thank you so much, Emir, and thank you, everybody.
Thank you very much, my brother Kayode. Thank you, Koladi. Sorry, say Kayode.
Yeah,
Koladi,
that's
thank you. Is your name Kayode also? Oh, that's true. Koladi Kayode. Wow, that's nice. You see. All right, thank you, my brother. God bless you. It's honestly, lessons have been learned and lessons are still being learned. And we'll keep still learning towards we to reclaim our mandate. Thank you. All right, let's take a lady now. Nello, good evening. Have this space.
Hi, Saddam. Can you hear me?
No. We cannot hear you.
All right. Hi, Saddam. Hi, Otumba, Suzo, well-meaning, those, real ever best, everyone. Yeah, thank you so much for, the topic of the space. It's just something really sad that's been happening. And earlier today, the Middle Belt guys, they opened up their own space and I popped in there, just to have a listen. And, essentially, there's this desire to come together and, and fight. But I think that one of the major problems that, I kind of noticed, I think it's just because the Middle Belt is not like one single tribe. So it's different tribes, and this government, if there's one thing that they are very good at, it's this divide and conquer thing. But I'm hoping that, somehow, I mean, I'm kind of reluctant to start saying, I'm sorry, but this thing is a you problem. You have to come together because I understand that. I mean, I listened to Madame Rhoda speak, and you will see that there's like a targeted, effort to make sure that these guys don't even put themselves together in any way, whereby you have a church, come together with, things to secure themselves, and straight away they get the military will descend upon them, or maybe people plan to, do like a reprisal attack, and suddenly curfews are declared. So obviously, the state is involved heavily in this, and there's only so much that people can do. But of course, I mean, the other option, um, is to just give in and die, And again, if it's very easy, to just say, oh, some people will look at the Nigerian situation and say, oh, Nigerians, you guys don't do anything, Um, you guys don't do anything. Your leaders just get away with everything because you're docile, because you're this and that, But it just gets to a point, when people would now have to decide that, okay, enough is enough. You're killing us anyway. Maybe we need to, organize ourselves into a guerrilla attack or something like that. But it's it's a decision that would probably take time to come, and maybe hopefully we never get there. Hopefully they never get there. I mean, we have a chance to turn things around, and there's a glimmer of hope. There's Peter Obi. This is why the PO presidency, because we all know that this APC presidency, I mean APC is a regime actually. It's sorry, someone just sent me a message. I got distracted. Sorry. APC is a terrorist organization, like we always say. It's either if we kill APC or APC will kill us. It's just, I mean, the options between Nigerians is two things. It's either we kill APC or APC will kill us. And one thing, I think there was a lady that spoke last. She said we are peaceful. We are peaceful, yes, but honestly, this APC government, the judiciary, we are going to okay. There was something I said. There was a space. Something I said just recently. I don't know if I've mentioned it on the violence space. About the Nigerian society. And how a lot of people. I think that it was Aisha that actually tweeted something. Someone was calling out the journalists and how they don't do investigative journalism and all of that. And she said that, people that have done this in the past, they've had to pay for it, and the Nigerian citizens never really stood up for them, We've had like people in the judiciary, they can just look at it like, oh, if they're going to get threatened, for sure. And the ones that they can buy, they'll buy. The ones that they cannot buy, they'll threaten them. And sometimes Nigerians, when they look at situations, they've seen places where people stuck their necks out, and eventually the state will come for them, and Nigerians just move on. So some people have had to look at it and be like, you see what, this Nigeria is not worth dying for, because you will just die for nothing and people could just move on with their lives. So you see cases where people just, do what's best for them and they just carry on. So, and this is why personally I am fully for, a match, and that match we're going to say to the judiciary, listen, you guys do not be afraid to do the right thing. We are going to stand with you. We are going to, be with you. And this state, if they cannot even try to come for you, because we, the people, we are more, and we are going to be. I mean, just basically give them that backing so that they will know that if they stick their neck out, for the people, that we are going to be there for them, because whether we like it or not, we've had cases where people have, died. Like Aisha pointed out that the journalist guy that, uncovered Gandhi's case, the guy was on trial. The guy paid for it. And Nigerians, we moved on, we carried on with our lives. So, and it's over time. This is why people have just basically decided to, do what they have to do for themselves. So I think that, it's very important that we let these guys know that, they should choose Nigeria, and Nigeria will be there for them, that we are going to be there for them. So, yeah, I yield my mic. I just, like middle belt, I just want everybody, because honestly, you might think that it's just the middle belt now, but it's also happening in the southeast. It's happening in Enugu. In Enugu, people are displaced. There are people in IDP camps in Enugu. So in Olu now, for example, people can't go back to their places in Olu. Are you going to say to those people, oh, you guys are, because there's nothing like when state is sponsoring terrorism against you. It's hard, especially when as a people you are not even like, you're not guerrilla and all of that. It's those things are things that it gets to a point you now get really desperate, then you start. So I just want us all to join hands together, whatever we can do. This APC government must not thrive. They must go. Thank you, and I yield my mic.
Thank you very much, my sister. Thank you very much. Another wonderful one there. Thank you. All right, AK, please, you have the space, please, my brother. 4 minutes gone.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you for the opportunity. First of all, about this middle belt issue, the truth is that after Nigeria, after Fulani Hausa, middle belt has more military men in up than any other region. So these things happening to them, it tells a lot. Because after Fulani, after Hausa, middle belt has more military men. So why is this thing happening to them? Why can't there many people speak? Why can't those in power, those people that they voted for, the House of Rep member, speak out? Why can't they come together and have a meeting with the president and the president in chief and say, our people making, not just making a statement in the National Assembly? Why can't you schedule a meeting, do a press conference, and also visit the president for solution in the middle belt? Because this people, they don't care. Once they once they go to the other side, they tend to forget their people. They only remember that place when it's time for election. And that's why we need change all over. So that's why we need change. And funny enough, you still hear some people say, PDP is my party. What have PDP done for you for 16 years? Have they fight your cause? People are dying every day in Benue. People are dying every day in Taraba. People are dying every day in Kaduna. People are dying every day in Jos. People are dying every day in Adamawa. And just because of a certain people, and if you know, and those people, their interests are being protected. Their interests are being protected in the sense that how many Fulani S-men have been caught? How many? How many of them have been caught? None. How many of them are on trial regarding this ethnic? None. But because sorry to say, there's the power that be is covering them. So what about the political power that even though they are the minority, their voice is not loud enough, they are not speaking it well enough, they are not making sensible statements, they are not talking about the people. Because right now a race or a certain people is being wiped up instead, because that's what is happening. Because from just this is more than 40 years, more than 50 years, and it keep getting worse. So, and right now we are in a time of democracy, not even in a military government, a time of democracy whereby you can speak in parliament and you can make a public statement and you can visit the president based on this. You can negotiate on your bidding that, okay, if for we to support this bill, what do you have? What do you have for my people of this? But the truth is that they don't know their power. They don't know how to do the bidding. For instance, now most of them are fighting for Senate president. What will the middle belt people bid for that? What will they bid? Okay, they can bid that. Okay, if you want me to support you, I want you to speak loud, doing for us for security in middle belt. But the truth is that the political power that be, or the people that they send to represent them, doesn't speak, and they are not speaking enough. They are not speaking enough because it's so painful that even the media, if the media is not speaking, at least the parliament people, the people in the constituent, people that voted, the federal house of people that they voted, should speak up. Should just speak up. And to me, it's a shame that people die every day. People die like foul. No respect for human life. No value for human rights. And it's a shame. But the truth is that there's a limit we can do when the people that they voted in is not speaking. When the people that have access or the corridor to power is not even speaking. However, like I said, if you go and check it after Hausa Fulani, people that are immediate police, everything, is people from that region. You don't know for that region. What are they using it? What influence are they using it? Their position to assist their people. What influence? What influence? Then what influence? No, no influence. No influence. They are military. What influence? It's a shame that you say that you hear that they create a military barracks, a military blockade. Immediately they left. Immediately the military left. Fulani Esma came and started killing people. Meanwhile, I believe they might even have a general or a colonel. Why is the colonel not speaking out? Why is he not taking charge? Why is he not? There are so many things that are about this thing. But the truth is that as one, they need the bed actually to start finding their voice, speak, and start owning their people's responsibility. Those that they vote in House of Reps, Senate, they should start owning them because they are the people that are in power right now. They need to speak to whoever is God. If you speak by God, Peter Obi is there. Peter Obi will do their bidding, but at the same time, they need to speak out. They need to speak out too. That's why will solve the problem of this middle bed. Exactly what happened in Adamawa. The truth is that what happened in Adamawa because they want a certain region to become the governor, and they didn't care if if the person is a female or they just say, okay, because this person is a Fulani, we want it to become the governor. That's what they almost declare, they almost do a military coup there, but because obedient and Nigerian that want good government speak out. Right now, justice has been done. At least they was able to review the truth is that for we as a people, we have to speak out. And if you above fear, sorry, then there won't be Nigeria anymore. If you above fear, there won't be Nigeria. There won't be your tribe anymore. It's right time the new best people speak out as one. If you don't speak out, you will die. If you speak, you will die. So everyone should come out and speak, so that everybody will live. Thank you.
Thank you very much, my brother AK Priest. All right, thank you. Okay, let's move on real quick. I really have best spirit, I beg you. Don't say let me take one or two more speakers and I'll come to you, please. HK may come in, I'll come to you real best after HK.
Thank you very much, Emir Sada, Motumba, Sizul, and my distinguished Nigerians on the platform. I don't have much to say today. Rufai stands condemned here on earth and probably in heaven. That's if he's even going to make it there. That Tasmanian devil, like Sizul, my brother said, has ruined whatever he thinks he has done in Kaduna State by not living up to the first mandate given to him by the people, which is protecting the lives of Nigerians. And this is where I join my voice with every other person on the space to say this is obviously ethnic cleansing. This man is hell-bent on wiping some tribes. I don't know, God, for God's sake, what these people have done to him. The sanctity of life, let me repeat it again. The sanctity of life must be protected not only in Kaduna State and not only in the Middle Belt, but everywhere around Nigeria. And of course, the world. That video, that gory video of, mass grave, throwing people into mass grave is beyond me. I mean, how could we descend so low? Slaughtering human beings like we are slaughtering chicken. May God have mercy on us and deliver us from the evil forces of APC and this Buhari government. God will deliver Nigeria. I hope so. I hope so. That is why we have to continue to support our principal in this legal battle that we are faced right now. We have a party that is a terrorist organization. If we don't take them away, they will destroy Nigeria completely. Look at what happened in Adamawa State. Nobody has ever seen this type of rubbish before. You see, it's a planned job. It's purely planned. These people knew. Binani, or whatever her name is, knew that at some point that a particular section of INEC was going to declare her winner, whether the results were authentic or not. And she had already prepared a speech and was actually making those speeches. Did we not find the Nigerian media with the Binani woman making that acceptance speech, knowing fully well that the results weren't fully announced? So you see that the whole system is corrupt. So until we flush out this evil virus that has befallen Nigeria for the past 8 years, Nigeria will forever continue to see doom. But like I've said, and based on what our principal has even tweeted today, our focus is on the judiciary. We must remain formidable and focused on the judiciary, rather than try to divide us with different narratives. I was on the other space. I don't want to even engage myself with that negative energy right now. Professor Saddam, you have already told us to focus on the topic. But I was on that space where they were, saying all those rubbish. It's everybody's right to protest if they want to. But however, we choose to focus where our principal focus is, and that is the judiciary. So pressure should be on the judiciary right now to do the right thing. We are threatening possibilities of making that election petition tribunal televised. That should be where the energy is right now. And salvage Nigeria promptly, because what we have now is far beyond the jungle. We have animals wanting to hand over to another wild set of animals. We're not going to allow that. As for the lackluster attitude of the military, let them continue. The evil that we own now will eventually consume everybody. Until we do not have any other country that we can call our own, then it will be very clear to everyone that evil is good. But let them continue to turn the blind eye when innocent citizens, bona fide citizens of a country, real indigenous of a state are killed. Let them continue to be stupid and turn the blind eye. Probably even help these terrorists perpetrate these evil acts. God is watching everybody, and there's nothing we can do about it. For everything that we sow, that is what we will reap. That's all I have today. I'm so angry, and it's very unfortunate what is happening in the Middle Belt, more especially Benue State and Kaduna, Southern Kaduna. It's terrible. It's very, very terrible. If no other person will speak up, we obedience should speak up. These are human beings, for God's sake. I yield the mic.
Thank you very much, my brother. Thank you. Adamawa, the rig elections, obedience to speak up. And there are killing people in Southern Kaduna, obedience to speak up. Everything happening in Nigeria, obedience to speak up. But the people speaking up, PDP, APC are all about politics. We win, we won, we did not win, we rigged, we did that, go to court. These guys are a bunch of satanic children of the devil. They don't care about if Nigeria burns or Nigeria does not burn. They're always about our people the power. They don't care that Nigeria is how bleak the future looks. They don't freaking care. But that's what we'll keep doing on this platform, especially on our platform. We will continue to speak up and speak on issues. All right. Thank you, my brother. Thank you, GKM. All right, Level Best, please, my brother. You can try and make it as short as possible. Go
on. All right. Tadam, thank you for the opportunity. Once more, I thank everybody on this space. I don't know where I stopped because I understand I was talking and I was cut off. I don't really know where I stopped, but I think
it's not for this thing for Ikeja.
All right. Anyway, let me just please. I think we should not. We should. See, let me tell you something. The people in Southern Kaduna are not being killed, or people in the middle belt are not being killed. Please, Nigerians are being killed. I'm saying this because there is this attempt. Most times there are attempts we drive a narration. The truth about the matter is that the people of Southern Kaduna has been numbered, they have been outgunned. And for us to be saying, oh, they are not speaking up, they don't have enough evidence and this thing. We are actually actually giving the enemy talking points. We are not doing service to them. Nigerians are being killed, and Nigerians have to stand up and stop what is going, the human carnage that is going on in that part of that country, because the people are being killed are not Southern Kaduna people. They are Nigerians. And we cannot say, oh, they have to speak up. Nigerians have to speak up. Nigerians have to come out and say, enough is enough. If we don't do this, they are going to continue to kill these people. I don't, there is nothing about Southern Kaduna that is not on the documentary of killings, videos of what is going on in Southern Kaduna for years, and some part of people have taken it up. I've seen it discussed is it in the Scottish House now, but at least evidently it has been discussed in a British House of Lords. So people know about what is happening. Southern Kaduna people have done enough to speak up to do this thing. It is for Nigerian people to speak up about what is happening. If we say, oh, Southern Kaduna have to have, no, they have. Because the point I was making earlier, that aside from the number of people who have been killed, which has been reduced to numbers of 40 people or 50 people died, what about, the trauma that the people who are even living are facing? What about the fear that they are facing? What about the, casualties? How, I was making the point. How do people, do marriage in Southern Kaduna and all these places that are being killed? How do they give birth? How do they go to church hoping that somebody might come there and kill them? How do people even fall in love in Southern Kaduna? So these things are even some of the things that we are going to take into cognizance and say what is happening in Kaduna is bigger than that 40 people we are killed and buried. It's more than that. And therefore, and this is what has been going on. The killing of people in the Middle Belt did not start today. And those killing is actually meant to sustain the Nigerian state, to sustain the hegemony of the Fulani hegemony in the north, and which has also translated to the wider Nigerian society. And when people speak up, and I wish Zaria was in this space today, and when people speak up to say there is an agenda, that's my problem with even Christianity in Nigeria, because these people, no matter how you say these things, they just feel perhaps it doesn't matter, or perhaps they could pray or fast and everything will be solved. Even if we don't have to fight, if Christians, like the point I was making before, Christians in the south, can they come out and say enough is enough? You can imagine if Christians in the south, in all these churches, come out and protest and say we are protesting because these killings have to stop. I think it will stop. I think it will put these people on notice. I think the world will hear it more than saying, oh, Southern Kaduna, speak up. What else are they going to speak up? Don't we know what is going on? Who is in Nigeria today that doesn't know what is going on in Southern Kaduna? So it's not just for the Southern Kaduna to protect themselves. It is for the Nigerian states and the Nigerian people to protect people in Southern Kaduna. There is nothing they could do. There's nothing. There's one narration too before the counter coup that most Southern military officers were being taken out and being killed. One question that people continue: why didn't they do anything? Because people were looking at it and say, oh, there's a lot of military men that were there. Because people went into their barrack, they were rounded up and they were killed. In their hundreds, and people say, why can't they talk? But when you have a state sponsored, these things are state sponsored terrorism. If it's the case that maybe the government in Southern Kaduna or some people in Southern Kaduna is making trouble, then you can say this thing is state sponsored. It's not just state. I'm talking about the Nigerian state is sponsoring what is happening, because not more than Rufai, the people in Federal Capital Territory, the people ruling this country, they are in charge. That's when Buhari came. He made sure that the people who are Inspector General of Police, who are Custom General, who are Fulani Muslims, there's a reason for that he made it to be like that. And these things are the reasons why we are we have needed. If P2B is the president of Nigeria, these things will not happen. It's happening because the state actually support what is going, and people just pretend as if, oh, we can. There is a reason. Maybe next time when I speak on this, maybe in the next violence space, I might maybe talk about the crusade. There's a reason why when people talk about crusade, there's a reason why crusade was launched. If not that crusade was launched, the whole Western Europe would have been an Islamic nations today. If not that crusade was launched. No matter the narrative you want to have about the crusade, but the idea of crusade was that the Muslim Empire, the Islamic Empire, had already taken up all the places in the Middle East and had conquered almost. When I speak in this and say even Spain had been conquered and renamed Andalusia. France was about to be taken by 632. The Charles Martel of the Coregan Empire rose and fought the question of these things are not things that we know about Turkey. The churches that were spoken about in Thessalonians, Corinthians, and all, they are churches in Turkey. And today, see, these things are not, most times because there are topics that most times we don't want to discuss about, we want to talk about in this country, and somehow we slip over it and we move on. There's an agenda to this thing. There's a historical perspective and realities to these things. And these people who actually hold onto this fifth this 15th century ideas are still holding on to it. Some people still hold on. I'm not criticizing the faith. I'm criticizing some people who are still holding on to this idea that these things must dominate. I've said this thing. The religion is not, it's a personal something, but some people are not taking it as personal. Islamic nation. The Bible that you read, letter to Corinthians, letter to Ephesians, these things are churches in they are I don't even know how to say this thing, but these things are real. These things are real, and Nigerians will have to start saying this thing the way they are, and say if there are people who have an agenda to feel that they want to dominate people with their religion or their belief, that this thing Nigerian people have to say no, and the Christians have to speak up. Christians have to speak up. Christians have to speak up. Christians have. It's not enough to go, and that's why most times when people, oh God, because people fast. There are some churches every January they fast for that. These things are not. It's not enough to fast. It's enough to come out too and say. And you can imagine if all these churches that we have in Nigeria can come out and say no, enough is enough. The people, the Nigerians in Southern Kaduna will not be killed again. Nigerians have to stand up for them. And if we keep being here and say, oh, they have to do this, they cannot defend themselves. The Nigerian state is killing them. It is the Nigerian state that is killing the people, the Nigerians in Southern Kaduna, the Nigerians in Middle Belt. And I think we should put a stop to it. And I think this whole thing, like Saddam said, everything is about obedience. Because we are the only people today who is speaking up and who want to take back our country. So in taking back our country, it's actually taking back the humanity of this country back. For us to take back the peoples of this country and give them. I'm not against anybody. I'm not even so much about even as a Christian. I'm not even so much about if it's Christians that are doing this thing they are doing. I would also be here speaking up against it. So the people. I also want to encourage our Muslim brothers and sisters, at least those of them who value humanity, to speak up and say enough is enough, because we cannot say we don't like what is going on and yet we don't speak up against it. Nigerians have to come together and make sure that we take back our country. And I think if this movement I will redeem it. That is why this movement is important. If not, if Southern Kaduna today is going to be another place today. Somebody spoke about Ruga, Saddam, I'm coming. Somebody spoke about Ruga. Somebody spoke about all these policies that these things are it's tied to something. There's an agenda until we recognize there's an agenda behind all this nonsense that is happening. The reason why the civil war happened was because people also rumored that there was an agenda, and that thing went, before you know it, it turned into a civil war. There's an agenda in this country, and there's a reason why we win election and they refuse that we take back the election that we won. There's an agenda behind it, and the Nigerian people are bigger than whatever agenda that they have. Thank you so much for the opportunity. Let me rest my case.
All right, thank you very much, my brother. Thank you. Okay, okay, God, good evening. You have the space, please.
Thank you, Saddam, Otumba, Sizzle, Teke, everyone on the space. I greet you. Okay, so I want to start by talking about what Sizzle said. You know, when I listened to him talk, I couldn't but agree less, but there's an angle I want to look at it in. Okay, I remember like a few years back, I used to be very angry, you know, and I'm still angry at it anyway, because many times when we have these attacks on Christians and all that, and then there's going to be a mass burial, when you hear the clerics come up to talk, you know, talk to the people, what you keep hearing is, you guys are martyrs, this is how martyrs die, and all that and all that. The point I'm getting to is this, is okay, especially to those who believe that, okay, these people should stand up for themselves. You see, one thing you should understand about the Northern Christians is they are just like the Northern Muslims in that they also have their own extremities. The same way the Northern Muslim would just do whatever the Imam would say is the same way the Northern Christian would do whatever the Reverend Father or the pastor tell them to do. If we're going to have to change this narrative, just like when when the other guy from Plateau State or Southern Kaduna was talking. Remember, he said that his pastor was telling the people, just keep praying and all that. They tell them these things. They tell them not to fight back. They tell them that they are martyrs. When they die, they will also go to heaven. They tell them these things. So if we're going to have to change this narrative of making sure that these people stand up for themselves, right, it has to also start from the religious leaders that are in these areas. Another reason I'll give to you why these people may not be able to stand up for themselves is this. If you remember, was it in 2020 or 2021 when the federal government gave an order to the military to go and ransack the people in Benue State, the people in Southern Kaduna, and a couple of other places for weapons they may be holding, and to seize those weapons? It happened. You know, when we're talking about documentary evidence, what other evidence do we need to show that these military men are stopping these people from protecting themselves? It was a federal government order that was given to seize the weapons of these people from fighting back the Fulani headsmen. You heard what Rhoda said, right? Everything she said. What other documentary evidence do we need from what Rhoda came up to say about what happened 3 days ago? And then I'm also going to refer us back to, was it June 2022, just last year, June 2022, or was it July, when there was an attack in a village in Southern Kaduna, and the people came out to defend themselves, and they were winning. They were killing these bandits, and all of a sudden, our own Air Force, our helicopter, our own Air Force came up and started shooting at them, killing them. When the whole news broke out, what did federal government tell us? It was an unknown helicopter. When people questioned the so-called unknown helicopter, the federal government came up and said, oh, it was our Air Force that was sent to go and save the people, but they didn't see well, and then they were killing the natives, thinking they were killing the bandits. What other, if you Google this issue about the helicopter thing, you would see the title, like when I went back to look at it, it says supported attack, because that's what it was. It was a supported attack against the people. And then if you even watch the videos of this recent attack in Southern Kaduna, and you hear what the residents were saying, the victims were saying, you would also hear them saying they don't want the military people anymore because they're not helping. What other documentary evidence do we need? These are enough to prove that the military is up against the people in both Southern Kaduna, in Benue State, and everywhere in Nigeria. So I would say to us, when we have said we are getting to that place when we are having voter, that our sympathy is getting to that point where we're reaching a breaking point and all that, I will say this to us: we have a lot on our table, yes. We're having to do so much. Look at the drug barons case, look at our case in the court, and then this one. But there is nothing we cannot do, God helping us. Obedience, we are too much. Like, we've been able to do going for it is God and obedience. See what happened in Adamawa State. Who came out to talk the most for the PDP candidate that actually won? It was obedience all around. It's us. So in this matter, right, yes, Igbo people will not come out and fight for Southern Kaduna people. Yoruba people will not come out and fight for Southern Kaduna people, but obedience will do it. We will do it. We don't have to take up arms and go there and say, okay, we want to fight. But the same way that we are coming up and saying, okay, we can protest on Twitter. Can we do that for these people? Because I think another reason why these things keep happening like this is this. Let's look at Tinubu's case, right? Every other time something comes up about Tinubu is because we are insistent and consistent on Tinubu's case. We have not left that man alone. So every other day there is something being exposed about him. If we keep at this Southern Kaduna case and Benue State issue, right, these killings, you will see that many intricacies, all the underlying factors will begin to come out to the open. So what I'm suggesting is, while we tweet about eyes on the judiciary, Tinubu is a drug baron and all that, can we add stop the genocide in Southern or in the Middle Belt? Can we add it to it and keep talking about it every now and then? Let's not stop. I believe if we keep at it, we're going to be able to drag people to come into this matter. All right. So just to round up, I'm going to round up with this, right? As at last week, I was discussing with Teke because I was saying to him that, okay, can we do something for IDPs in Kano? We don't have an IDP camp in Kano, all right, but we just got thinking about those who ran from southern Kaduna, Benue, Taraba, Adamawa to Kano. And we went looking for them and we located a couple of them. We were just looking at, okay, how do we raise funds for them because they want to start their lives afresh. But seeing what happened again this weekend in southern Kaduna and seeing the pictures of these people living, I just kept asking myself, where are they going to? Like, who is going to take them in? Where are they actually running to? This is something that we really need to look into. It's heartbreaking. It's really heartbreaking. It's just so much. To round up, I'm going to round up with this last one. When we have succeeded in taking our mandate, right, I want to beg obedience. It's possible for us to get people to hear us that we will need to warn these people officially. What I'm saying is, if you sow a seed of grain in the soil, we know what comes out. Now, when we have these mass burials going on, we're actually sowing blood and in a nasty way to the soil. This Mother Earth hears, this Mother Earth receives, and whatever we give to it, it will give back to us. So I'm just suggesting ahead of time, after we have recovered our mandate, that we will need to do have a national mourning day for all those people that have been stupidly killed and have been massively buried. This is where I want to yield the mic. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you very much, my sister. Thank you. Thank you. Isaiah, please come in here. Good evening.
Good evening, Pastor.
Isaiah, we cannot hear you.
Good evening. Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Go on, sir.
Okay. Good evening, Emia and Pastor Saddam. You started the space by saying midweek service, but you refuse to give the oracle of the space in the house to start opening prayer. Therefore, I'm going to do my opening prayer from the book of Psalm chapter 70 verse 1. It says, hasten, O God, to save me, to save us. O Lord, come quickly to help us. May those, listen to this, may those who seek our life be put to shame and confusion. May all who desire our ruin be turned back in disgrace. May those who say to me, aha, aha, turn back because of their shame. And in another book again, he said, the Lord is with me as a mighty, terrible one. He said, therefore my persecutors shall stumble, and they shall not prevail. They shall be greatly ashamed, for they shall not prosper, for their everlasting confusion shall never be forgotten. 5 curses in one verse. And another one again, he said, hey, I will make your oppressors eat their own flesh, and they shall be drunk in their own blood and wine, and they shall eat their own flesh. That is what the Bible says. These are the curses we are going to be giving to the people who want to destroy this country, that the only country we have. You see, this thing started in Kaduna a long time. People are not noticing it. Every evil that they want to try in this country will start from Rufai. This guy will test it there and expand everywhere. As I am talking to you right now, Saddam, there is an information, a circular everywhere tonight in most of our Kogi WhatsApp group that Yaya Bello is going for a Muslim ticket with his cousin. This is the opportunity you have gotten on a platter of gold. You were never on ballot in 2015. It was somebody different that won. But by kangaroos and everything of our court system, you were brought in as a minority with the lesser vote that even 2 local government in one part can cancel the whole entire district vote. But you were brought in. You finished 8 years. Now you are bringing your cousin, because the next person to you who you promised to give the ticket is a Christian. It is bypassed to another person. Now your brother, and now you are bringing another Muslim. You see, when we talk, then the children of perversions and the children of doom will say that we are inciting religion. But when they are doing it, that is the holiest thing, that is the evil thing that the APC are doing. They will instigate evil, they will start evil, and when you want to talk, they'll say you are inciting. When you want to correct them, they say no, it's self-righteousness that is evil, self-righteousness of wickedness, self-righteousness to put us in a perpetual bondage. But I have a good news for them. This country belongs to all of us. My Kogi State belongs to even, in fact, as far as the history of Kogi State is concerned, it is my right. And if somebody is going to be the governor for 8 years, and you are bringing your brother, and you are going to make it, there have never been any time in the history of Kogi State that is Muslim. It has been always Christian. Even the first administrators of those days of Benue, they still did it Christian and Muslim. Christian and Muslim. Ape Aku was a Christian. His deputy, Sule Iyaji, was a Muslim. And from that day down to Audu, Christian, Muslim, Christian. You came in. The moment these guys started associating with El Rufai, I knew there were going to be changes. The moment they started, you look at Rufai, they hear Rufai sitting down on TV, and the Naira is putting poverty, the poor people cannot move, people are suffering, all is for their pocket. The way Rufai was shouting up and down that time, people are dying. He cannot shout the same shout again. People are dying. You see, they play with people's life, and when you want to talk, they say you are talking about, it's not about religion, it's about competency. Let's even talk about competency. Is it one-sided people that are competent? Is it only Muslims that are they telling us that it's only Muslims that are competent in this country? So I know any other person is competent again. It is only one-sided. Then when you want to say it is not about religion, to hell with you. May the cause of God, I say it again, this is the middle of night, this is after 12. May the cause of God be upon the enemies of Nigeria. May they sleep and not wake up. May they go in their sleep. The Bible says that he will fight for us in this country. You see, these people have messed us up for too long. How can you wake up? How can a president, you have how many days to go? They came out with all manner of promises. Hey, dollars equals to we were in Ojota, I was in Lagos. I will not forgive myself. The song, I tried to enter that song to Ojota in campaigning, and they protesting against Jonathan of fuel subsidy. Now, today, where are we? How much is fuel now? Before they end their government, how much are they taking the fuel to? You see, this country, if thank God for space like this, I want us to understand that in every movement, there will be differences, there will be, people will provoke one another, but let's forget, you see, it's a distraction. Our common enemy is the establishment. Our common enemy is the people who have kept us in this bondage, and they are still trying to maneuver their way. The people in the APC government for 8 years are the same people lobbying now to become minister, to become this with Tinubu. How do you think there will be a change? What are they going to do different that they don't have the opportunity to do it? Fashola was holding a very beautiful position, and the same people who say electricity. Do we have electricity today? The same people, Bajamiala, who is a boy to the minister of finance before, who brought him? How many people that they have planted in this government? Where are we today? What have we achieved? What is our education? What is our healthcare? What is our light? What is our bill? What are we achieving? Where is the refinery that they told us they are going to put Nigeria refinery to work? Saddam, for 8 years, there is no single refinery that is working right now, and somebody is telling us that they have done well. May the cause of God, this country, look, youth, if you don't wake up to take it back, we are taking it back. They know we are taking it back. And please don't sleep over Kogi State. I beg everybody, Kogi State should be your problem now too. Because you see what they are doing, they are testing the water gradually. And when they succeed in Kogi, that is the end of it. They would have conquered everywhere around it. But we're not going to let them succeed. Never. As God liveth and His Spirit liveth, we are going to fight with our life, fight for our future, fight for our children, fight. The Gen Z children don't forget, because everything they look for, Google is there to answer them. And your name are going to pop out with the role you have played and what you have done. for this to salvage Nigeria. After 60 years of independence, no electricity, no healthcare, no education, no better, no facilities, no what can we now? Can somebody here, can any children of the doom take microphone and tell me here now that since the independence, this is what we have done perfectly, 100% where that the citizen I enjoy today? Nothing. Healthcare, nothing. As I speak to you, Saddam, in my local government or Mala local government, you see, some of you, and the problem is some of these where they come to space, they talk, nobody know where they're coming from, no name, no real name. And we are having the real name mentioning our village where I'm coming from. I say, go to Mala, there is no light for the past 10 years, no light. They have not, the children born about 50 years ago don't know what we call up NEPA. So if you are hearing me and you know what is called NEPA, congratulations. That is the Nigeria for you. They don't know what they call up NEPA in my village. Now, let me tell you again, no water, zero. I mean no water. It's either you buy your water or you fetch your water from river or you go to the borehole and fetch. That is what a local government headquarter. Now, for the past 10 years again, there is not a many salary. They have always been half salary, 20%. Some months they even collect 10% out of your salary. So the percentage is what they have been paying. Either it is 10%, sometimes 20%, at worst, some month 50%, and so many months no payment. As I speak to you, this year only once or twice salary have been paid to even the appointees, not to talk of the civil servant. And then the same person in charge of the auditing of the local government, where we have been crying for local government autonomy, is the same person you are bringing to take over from you. It can never happen. We need to understand that we are fighting some demon, we are fighting some being, we are fighting some enemies that they don't want Nigeria to progress. And there will be amassing some money, billion, they'll be calling billions. How can you talk about a primary election where you sideline some side and you arrest, use court order to put injunction on some, step them down, and no primary? Some of you that are from Edo here, can you call that man, call Patrick Obiago and say, may God of heaven punish him for what he did? How can you, Patrick, you that speak English, you that want to represent the youth, talk to youth all the time, that youth want to listen to you, you don't even know the constitution of your party. The chairman left that this cannot be part. This is fasting period. We are asking God to forgive our sin. How do you people want me to commit this sin? And the chairman left Lokoja without partaking of the primaries. Only for Patrick Obiago, a secretary of the committee to the primary, to take over the whole thing and did it and announced it in a press conference. What a shame! Shame on Patrick. I wrote it and I tagged him and said, shame on you, shame on you, shame on you. You came to tell us you are representing the youth, but this is what you are doing. In fact, finally, I want to let us know that we are on the right path. Whatever you can do to make sure that we take back this country from this old establishment, from these people who want to make life difficult for us, and for the people who have not given us life, who have not given us electricity, who have not given us good education, who have not given us good health care, who have not given us even light, like common light, that other countries around the world are enjoying today. Nigeria, we don't have light. It is a shame. The giant of Africa have no basic amenity, no single basic amenity. There is no any amenity that will say, oh, 100% this one is okay. Nothing. We are struggling and they want to be manipulating us. And woe unto who? Who will he say, the Bible said the Son of Man will be crucified. He said, but woe unto him and woe unto those who are supporting evil in this country. The judgment of God is against them. Thank you very much. And I am remind.
Thank you very much, my brother. Thank you, Isaiah. Thank you. All right, now let's go on with the conversation. Thank you. Rita NG 123 my sister. Good evening.
Good morning, Sada. Good morning,
Good
everybody.
morning, Jerry. Good morning.
Good morning, Nigerians. Good morning, obedience. Good morning, everybody. And thank you, Cecil. Thank you for everything that you do. Saddam, please, I posted something on the Jumbo Throne. I don't know if you've seen it. I just came on and I saw it, so I felt I should put it here because it's very important. Maybe I should read it from People's Gazette. It's time to dominate cyberspace. Defense Minister. Did you guys get that? Defense Minister who is meant to defend our borders wants to come and dominate social media space because the terrorists that are killing Nigerians from left, right, and center are all doing their killings on social media. Now, better God go punish them. Anyway, down to the topic. You see this terrorism thing. I know all of us here, we know OBJ, Obasanjo. Obasanjo is a man that have been president. Right now, he's called the president of presidents. Some time ago, he wrote a letter and he said, there is a Fulanization agenda, an Islamization agenda. Obasanjo is a man that has fought many wars. As a retired general, when a man of his caliber says things like this, you should know that he knows what he is saying. Some Nigerians even attacked this man when he was saying this thing then. T.Y. Danjuma on national TV said that the Nigerian military are colluding with the terrorists that are killing Nigerians. He went on to say, if you depend on the military to save you, the terrorists will move in and kill everybody. He said that on national TV. And then Buhari, when he came to office, the first thing he did, or one of the first things he did, was to say all Nigerians should go and drop their weapons. All Nigerians should go and drop their weapons. And then a Fulani header came to say the guns they are using was brought to them by this government in the bush. He said the cattle they are rearing does not give birth to guns. On national TV. Till date, nothing has been done. For those of you who felt T.Y. Danjuma was misfiring, Kuje prison break is there. It has happened for how long? According to the stories, the military guarding that place were moved. We asked to leave. Till date, we haven't heard anyone who gave that order. No one has been arrested. And terrorists, their leaders, criminals, as in real dons, are all over. They are released and they are working and causing more havoc in the society. And then the shortman devil, Rufai, on national TV. If you watched that broadcast, you would even see guilt all over his face. He said he went outside to pay the terrorists that are coming into Nigeria to kill Nigerians. Southern Kaduna, I don't know the north too well. But to the best of my knowledge, if you talk about a Kaduna that have a south, then there's a Kaduna that will have either a north or something else. Now, the question you should be asking yourself as a Nigerian is, why are these killings centered in Southern Kaduna? Why? And then for those that are saying it is herders farmers clash, the fire of God will burn you people and turn you guys to something else. I said it. In fact, some of them, they go they rot, they no go die. How can you say it's farmers and herders clashes? If two communities are fighting, you see dead bodies from here, you see dead bodies from here. If more than 4 people, maybe 4 people from here, they fight, 4 people from here, as in they fight each other. They go kill for here, they go kill for here.
But in this case, it's a different ballgame. You see children being slaughtered, women, girls, men, and you dare to go to outside the to other other senior clients to tell them it's farmer herders clash. What's that her name? Caroline, or what her name of a British UK. See that woman, Jesus. Anyways, so for anybody to open his or her mouth to see what is going on is a better God will punish her. Governor Autumn, the man has been speaking. He has brought out communiques upon communiques about these guys holding meetings, talking about how they want to kinikon. I did a little bit of history. If you know a little of our history, you will know that during the Usman Danfodio time, the Middle Beltans, they stopped him. And that was why he couldn't encroach. That's why you don't hear the name Emir in Benue State. Emir not dead there. That was because those guys stood and defeated him. So right now they are systematically going after these people. How can a community rise up? You as a government, you can't protect them. They are protecting themselves. You say they should not protect themselves. Governor Otoma formed something like a Mateko, give them arms. No. And they're being killed every day. You were telling me you don't have a hand in it? Is it possible? Saddam, I see your hand. This is beyond sitting on the fence right now. Because today you might say it is the Middle Belt that they are killing. If we close our mouth, allow them finish Middle Belt, they go enter every other, they've already entered every other places. Or when massacre happened, our dear president, the dinner he hosted, he ate dinner that day, snapped picture and sent it. A massacre that took over 40 lives, including children. Like I said the other time, please, in as much as we're talking about what we're talking about our mandate, talking about all we're talking about, let's talk about the Southern Kaduna killing, the Middle Belton killings. Let's talk about them. A man, one of the lawmakers, I saw a picture, a tweet recently. The man talked about that they should remove Middle Belt from North Central or something. The man was beaten. There was blood from his head down to his body. Forever bringing that kind of bill to the floor of the house. And you still want to tell me there's no agenda? They came with Ruga, we said no. They came with cattle colony, we said no. They came with this, we said no. Now they made it compulsory that they must build abattoir all over Nigeria. Abattoir na light, be abattoir na hospital. Is abattoir educational system? Why must it be something that involves the Fulani? Why? That's the question we should be asking ourselves. I beg, I want to beg us. Our prayer space is very important. For those of you that feel prayers don't work, my people, it works. It works. So how many people eyes they open to this reality when we they see like this? So how many people eyes they open? And how many people will come out to even see this thing for what it is, let alone condemning it? Today, the Middle Beltons are standing up for themselves. And you think it's by your power? Or you think it's because you can read well or because you are educated? God is doing something. Whether we like it or not, God is doing something. Forget about the nonsense people we call religious leaders. Forget about them. Christianity is a personal thing. See, for some time now, I never give tithes. God have mercy on me if not sin. I never give tithes. I don't go give tithes. You're going to use my money. They buy private jet. They buy big cars when they say church members and they never chop. And you did they support nonsense. I beg, come our space. Let's pray. As we're doing what we're doing, let's add God to it so that it could just go. By God's grace, before they go see him. As they wash am, they enter, their eye go come clear. No, say indeed, God they answer prayer. The Bible says faith without work is dead. We are doing the work, the physical work we're doing it. Let's back it up with the spiritual one. I yield the mic. Thank you very much.
I hit the mic. Thank you very much. Ha! Wow. Thank you very much, my sister. Always love listening to you. You see, on this platform today, like this now, we have had protest group, pro this thing, judiciary group, pro middle belt group, pro prayer group. So please, guys, also join the prayer team. Everybody, we are joining everything that you can do. Whatever you know that you can do it. I keep saying all the time, please do not come and use your own and stop on that person own. And don't come and use your own and enforce on that person own. You see that prayer space now, I shall call it down. You don't come there, you don't say it will not be up to 50. We'll be there. That is other people's belief. Allow people speak the way they want to speak, act the way they want to act. Do not force anybody to do anything that they want to do. When Nigerians are ready and ripe for what is going to happen, it will happen. Nobody has that power to tell any Nigerian, go out and do this and it will happen. If Nigerians choose to do it, it's because they want to do it. Please. All right. Thank you. Ogateke, good evening, sir. Long time no speak. Welcome, sir.
Oga Saddam and the full house, I greet everybody.
My respected senior. Okay, sorry, sir.
It's allowed. Sometimes the backbone is needed to get all of us back in line and shape. So no wahala. I sent Caesar an article because his oratorial prowess will do justice to the article I'm about to read. I'm not going to read all of it because it's quite lengthy. It's an article written by Ibanga Isene. I think he was on your space during the pre-election matters, and he has an article about our friend Rufai, blood money for Oxford University. I will read just a little bit of this, not a lot of it, not the whole thing. And just to let you know, I've heard many people come and say, why don't Southern Kaduna people fight it for themselves and everything? This thing is orchestrated and it seems to be systematic. Systematic in the sense that they have taken out all those that will probably speak and act on behalf of Southern Kaduna, blood money for Oxford University, while gaining notoriety for persecuting journalists, rights activists, and presiding over one of Nigeria's states with a scandalous number of out-of-school children. Kaduna State Governor Nasir El-Rufai has donated hundreds of millions of naira to Oxford University in the United Kingdom over the past 4 years. In Nigeria, many see El-Rufai as one enemy of the rule of law and due process, as he has repeatedly violated court orders, used security agents against his critics, and driven some into exile. Kaduna State, which he governs, is not only plagued by protracted insecurity, which has forced schools closures, but also suffering from a woeful lack of basic amenities, resulting in school children sitting on bare floor to learn. I will skip all the other niceties of our friend in the north and go to some of the systematic procedures that this man has taken while he was governor of his state, or while he is. I'll just read some few headlines. Small paragraphs. Persecuted dead. Dr. Galadima Mayawada, the Agam Adara of Adara Chiefdom, Kaduna State. Galadima and I pronounced the names wrongly, so please forgive me, those from Southern Kaduna. Galadima Maiwada, the Agam Adara, is reportedly to have died for resisting attempts by El-Rufai to restructure the Adara Traditional Council to become Kajure Emirate. The monarch, who had seriously criticized the governor handling of the killings in southern Kaduna, was kidnapped with his wife and wife at Mai Yali village along Kaduna Kachi Road in Kachia local government area of the state. This man is now dead. Prosecuted dead. Dalima Isa, chief imam of Kwaram Rafi village in Igbadi local government. The chief imam of Kwaram Rafi Igbadi local government area in Kaduna State, was a strident critic of banditry in Kaduna State. He vocally blamed the state and the federal government for not taking action to stop the carnage by criminal groups. He was killed by unarmed gunmen who invaded his home in January 2nd, 2021. Prosecuted dead. Human rights lawyer, activist, comrade Atwa Masari. That one is dead. I'm not going to read all that. Prosecuted dead. Obadiah Maliafia. Everybody knows this. Activist and former deputy governor of Central Bank. Many people have spoken about him. I don't need to go too much into that. Prosecuted missing. Abubakar Dakiata Idris, fierce critic of Mr. El Rufai and the Mohamed Buhari-led federal government. Look, immediately Cizo started speaking, let me not lie, Dakiata came to my mind. Anything happen to Cizo tomorrow, they could not hold El Rufai. I don't talk my own. Prosecutor dead, Harun Akuye, district head of Gidan Zaki, Zango Kataf, local government, Kaduna State. Harun Akuye, the district head of Gidan Saki, blamed El Rufai for the killing in southern Kaduna in an interview on August 1st, 2020. Mr. Akuye and other traditional rulers in southern Kaduna were arrested and questioned on the governor's orders after suspected herdsmen invaded, killed, maimed, and set fire to houses and food crops in their communities. The monarch and his family fled Gidan Zaki. Soon after his release, Mr. Kuye met this reporter in a hideout far from his community and told him about his fears. Mr. Kuye claimed, among other things, that he was being tracked and that he and his family might be wiped out. Mr. Kuye returned to Gidan Zaki 2 months later, and on the 17th of 2002, unknown gunmen stormed his house and killed him and his son, leaving his wife and daughter in critical condition. The list goes on and on and on and on. Some disappeared, some detained, some have ran for their lives. Southern Kaduna is a unique, peculiar place where the governor has had free reign to destroy generations, because like somebody said here, the trauma that is caused by the ones left behind will be passed down to generations. There's trust that is destroyed for that family and those affected, those victims. The impact goes generations deep. It's not just one person killed. It's a generation that has been left to fend for themselves and suffer because of one. I don't even understand what the goal is, because the goal doesn't make sense anymore. Maybe the goal had sense and made sense in the 18th centuries during Usman Danfodio reign. But today, now, in this century, that goal doesn't make sense anymore. Whatever that goal is, there are better ways to achieve it. If you're looking for prosperity for Islam, there are better ways to achieve it. For Christ's sake, Dubai is an Islamic country. They have found prosperity. There are better ways to achieve whatever agenda is playing out. For this man and the entire military establishment to allow this to happen. Please, this is an article written by, it's found obviously on West African Weekly, David Dane's Space. It's written by Ibanga Iseme. Nigerian governors, and it's titled "How Nigerian Governor and Serial Human Rights Violator Nasir El-Rufai Spends Millions Funding Oxford University." You guys know that anything posted on this website can be validated with receipts. I am not the one that made this up. This is detailed, hard work journalism, investigative journalism that has been put out there to document very little of some of the atrocities that have been committed under this government's watch, under Erufai's watch. Take your time and read it. We all have subscriptions to West African Weekly. Please make use of your subscriptions and go to this website and consume the hard work that these guys have done for everybody to understand how much trouble we are in our country. I yield the mic. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Take care. Please, guys, that article is one article that will blow your mind off. Please just go read the articles on West African Weekly, David's Funday's platform. For those that sent me their email address the last time, please check your emails. We have subscribed for so many of you, so please check your emails to verify. All right. Going forward, please, guys. Also, I've just been cut off, and we've not been talking about the hashtag to trend. Please, going to tomorrow, we'll be tweeting about stop the Southern Kaduna genocide, or stop the Southern Kaduna killings. Also, we can also say stop the genocide in the Middle Belt. It is important to give our voices out to these people, support them, let them know that they are not standing alone. We might as well say let them speak for themselves. They have to cry for themselves. Yes, they are crying, but we are one. Anybody that is affected in this country, if it's affected, no matter the region, it affects every one of us. Yeah, it's a Nigerian problem. So we should please help amplify their voices, help them speak out. Hopefully, something will happen. And they will get back their region, get back their ancestral homes. All right, let's go on real quick. Mary White, good evening, man. You have the space.
Hi, Saddam. Saddam. Hi, Sizzle. Where's I don't see Otuma, but hi, Orem, if you're listening. Zos, my brother. Hi, Nello, my sister. Hi, everyone. It's happy to be on Violence Space today. I'm happy to be on Violence Space today. So the thing is, I'm so happy that finally, we have actually stopped being politically correct and calling this ethnic cleansing what it is, which is JIHAD, which is always what it's been from the time that Buhari told his brothers across the world to come into Nigeria. And I heard people at that time knowing what it was, but no one will actually come out to talk about what the plan was. So I'm really, really happy that we have finally come out of our shells and calling it what it is. And I listened when LP Rhonda Daniels was given her submission. I was actually driving at the time, and I was moved to the point that I even started crying, because you could hear in her voice the fear, not just the fact that they feel helpless, but for the fact that you don't even trust your own family members with actually the plans that you have to protect yourself. For me, I don't know how I would feel if I was in her shoes, but I felt everything that she felt. And to me, I just didn't know when I broke down. But the thing about it is, the question is, if the security forces cannot protect its people, and it seems like they are more interested in protecting the herdsmen than the Southern Kaduna people, not just them, but in Plateau, in Zamfara, and all this other middle belt where you have Christians. So my thing is, why are they going after people, taking away the only form of, I guess, weapon or whatever you could call it, that they could use to protect themselves? So my question is, does the Nigerian Constitution not afford its citizens the right to protect itself? I mean, I don't know. I don't know. This is, I guess, obviously a question for the lawyers, because if it does, then maybe we should actually do a class action, because if they can do it in Middle Belt and go away with it, you'll be rest assured that they will do it in other parts of the country and get away with it. Because I truly believe that the fundamental human right is the right for you to protect yourself with anything humanly necessary, whether it be a weapon, whatever it is that you could get to protect yourself, especially if someone is coming to your home. You didn't like go provoke that person. They just come in and just because of a religious ideology to take over your place. So you should have that right to protect yourself. So at least in the lawyers in the house, I wish Baron was here. This is a question I would have asked him to see if it's possible for us to have a class action to see, because if they are afforded this right under the Constitution and the military is coming after them in this way, then we should be able to help them out. And if there's a class action, so that way they could protect themselves. And I know there's this saying which says that when they did come for the Jewish people, no one really said anything. And when they kept coming for certain groups and no one said anything until they came for me. And guess what? There was no other person. And this brings to the part of agreeing with Real Level Best when he said that the Southern people should also speak up for the Northerners. And I think we all have to come and do it collectively because guess what? If they're successful, which I know by God's power, nothing, they will never be successful. The next thing they're gonna turn to is the South. So we have no other choice. And as a matter of fact, as we speak right now, they're actually killing people in the South. Like my sister said in Enugu, they're actually killing people and sending them to IDP camps. So we in the South, we don't have any choice than to speak. And I like what we're doing through our social media platforms to ensure that we bring it up to the forefront so that not just the Nigerian people will get to know what's going on, but the international community will also understand what we're going through. Because if we don't say anything, guess what? Like people have been saying, we will be the next Turkey. We will be the next Lebanon, where it will not, we Christians, and not just Christian, but minority groups will no longer have a say. And this brings me to the next thing about, I guess, the El Rufai terrorism and Kaduna. This the guy, I mean, I agree with everyone that he's evil, and that's more reason why we should ensure that this Tinubu government does not come to power. Because if you look behind this whole veil of this government, the whole thing is like for El Rufai to finally get himself into the presidency, and we know that if he ever gets there, I guess the rest is history. So we should do everything in our power to ensure that he does not get to that, and by making sure that our mandate is returned. And I guess the next thing I'll talk about is Adamawa INEC fraud. I'm so happy and I'm so proud of us obedience for not being the quiet opposition like the PDP has been. We have been the ones to actually protect democracy by the way we've gone about using our powers. And what do I mean by using our powers? When we see anything bad that is happening, we call it for what it is. And we come on social media and we make our voices heard. And I think that was what Adamawa turned out to be what it is today. And to the PDP people and their silence, what I tell them is they should actually grow some strength and try to be the opposition that they should be. As a matter of fact, I really don't want them to because I think we are doing a great job. But what I would say to a particular person who always holds space, a PDP person, I won't call his name, but you guys could, I guess you have to figure it out that whenever he holds his space, my only advice to him is that he should be more creative with his title. Stop. The obedience are not your headache. Especially if it comes to violence based or any other obedience, please be more creative and go after APC. They're our common enemies. They're the ones that don't mean well for this country and leave obedience alone. And I think, brings me to my closing remarks, is to each and every one of us obedience here. And what I would say is, I think we should stop this timeline fights that I see on Twitter. It doesn't help us. My prayer is that we should please go back to the way we were during the campaigns, where we saw people come together for a common goal, which is to see that PO is in power. So it hurts me when I see us going back and forth. And that's why I really don't try to get in between or reply. So whatever it is that is making us angry of going on, let's try to maybe start sending people DMs, talk to them privately rather than come out and start attacking each other. Because when we continue to do that, we are actually feeding into this APC and PDP narrative that we are unruly and we are like whatever it is that they want us to fit into. So please, please, let's all continue to work together for a better Nigeria. And Emir Saddam, I'll end with you. Um, what I was telling you is that you are blessed, and my prayer for you is for God to continue to see you to greater heights. I know that you've done a lot for this movement that you don't want to take credit for, and those of us that know you well know what you've put into this movement. And my prayer to you is that no weapon fashioned against you shall ever prosper. And this is also a prayer to each and every one of us in this space. So let's continue doing what we're doing. And God bless each and every one of us. Thanks, everyone, for listening to me go on and on. But I know truly that one day we will get the Nigeria we've always dreamed of, a Nigeria where Pio says, a son of nobody will become somebody, and a daughter of nobody will also become somebody. And on that note, I'll say, God bless each and every. And I would say, fine, I'm a Christian. I believe in prayers, and I believe. I also agree with my sister, Rita. Please join us every Sunday, and please, as we also blame the pastors, let's not forget that we do have supposedly someone that should be representing us in this government by the name of VP Osibanjo, who is also a pastor, and I haven't heard him say a word. So what is he doing? Is he just waiting to the last day and then he just carries his stuff for us? Because he should be our representative and he should do his job before he leaves. And that's why I ended my submissions. Thanks, everyone, and God bless. Good night. Bye.
Thank you very much, my wife. Thank you for the kind words. Thank you. Joel Obedient, my brother, have this space. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening, Saddam. Good evening, everybody. It's been a sweet day. It's been a horrible weekend. It's been a horrible weekend with things coming out from the middle belt. It's horrifying. Every time I see the mass burial video, I cringe. Like, these are people's brothers, sisters. Some of them probably have children in the university, have family somewhere out very far away, hoping to hear from them, and you hear that one of your family members was buried in a mass grave because the government in power is incompetent and is not willing to do anything to save your families. It's very painful. I said it on the space yesterday that sometimes when we see these things, it just feels, because we are not directly affected, it feels out of touch. But every time you are in your bed at night, not to scare you, but just imagine you are sleeping and you're woken to gunshots, open your window, you see fire burning around other houses. You try to escape, your house is on fire, you come outside, they attack you. From someone who's been living comfortably with enough food to take care of you for 1 month, roof over your head, farm is ready to be cultivated, you are somebody carrying a sack of whatever you can grab and moving to an IDP. From someone taking care of the community kids, feeding them, a philanthropist, you are now in an IDP, hoping that food will come. When you say IDP is worse than, most IDPs are worse than your NYSC camp. You know how most of us, or most of you, refuse to eat at NYSC camp because the food is crap, or because the lifestyle is as it is. Now imagine something half or a 1/4 of what that is. That's the lifestyle. NYSC camp, you have a couple of things to manage with. You can call home, you can go to Mami Market, you have source of maybe money they have buried under their bed burns down. Cattle, sheep, goat, ram, chicken, turkeys they've lost all of them. You go from grace to grass, from grace to below the grass. That's how bad it is. And you come back, whenever you come back and you found out you've lost your children, you've lost your brothers, you've lost your sisters. You see pregnant women go through these things, nursing mothers, parents with 4, 5 children that are not even up to 15 are going through all this. And in 2, 3, 4 years, a 10-year-old child already knows you should be ready to pack your bags and leave. You should be ready to be attacked. That's lifetime. That's a lifetime of trauma. Now, the disgusting thing about people that are supporting this or that are quiet about it just because this mess is serving their either tribal or political cup is that these children that are going through these are monsters that are being made. The El Rufai you see today, I don't think you'll see him in 50 years' time. You are 20, you are 25, you are 30, you are cheering him up. You are happy that your region is being cleansed from people you think are not yours. Let me tell you what will happen in 70 years' time, in 50 years' time when you are 70, and you've amassed all the wealth, you've pursued all the, let's say, Christians or the Middle Belters from the north, and you have all your northerners, but you have subdued the whole of Nigeria. You see those children that went through that, they'll be in their 40s or their 50s. There'll be a terror from when they became 30. They'll start terrorizing you because they are only used to terror. They'll become your enemies for no reason. What they are facing right now, your children will start facing it. All this can be stopped with just advocacy. Advocate for the right thing. When your governor sees that even his fellow people that he thinks is cleansing the land for are against him, he will subpedal. When the presidency sees that the Nigerians are against it and you are fighting back, while those that are fighting back on ground are fighting, those that are fighting online are fighting, those that are using the courts are fighting, they have nobody backing them. They will back down. These people did nothing to anybody. They were just born in that land that you so want, that these governors so want, that these politicians so want to cleanse. You didn't negotiate in heaven or wherever you think you are created from. You didn't negotiate that you wanted to come out in, you want to be born in southern Kaduna. You didn't negotiate that you wanted to be born in Bayelsa. Not by your own will. And you are in that place. And you are being attacked and killed and slaughtered. Some people have lifetime scars. Physical scars. Now imagine what will happen to their mental scars. Just know that this is not Hollywood or Nollywood. Though. This is actual people's life, waking up to gunshots. You have a bullet in your hand and you are running. You know, in Hollywood, it seems as if you get a bullet in your hand, it doesn't pain. That thing hurts like hell. If you think it's a joke, get a needle and prick yourself. Multiply that 100 times. You've still not gotten the pain of a bullet and bleeding out and running at the same time. Then imagine people that have gotten shot in the eyes, shot in their knees, and they cannot walk again. You have lost your house, you are maimed, you are now handicapped or physically challenged, and you are broke, and you are not at home, and you are unhappy. And the worst of all is, those that swore an oath to protect you don't give a damn. It's a horrible situation. I have experienced a part of war. And for me, when I see what's happening there, what I saw was small. Was very small. Compared to what these people are going through. At least I didn't lose anybody personally. At least we had a chance to run. We came back to our houses, they were intact. It was just for 3 months, 6 months at a time. But imagine people living in this fear. And these people are not very rich people that can just pack up and say, we're going down south. You know, the most annoying thing about this is that these evil geniuses have actually prepped it. That some of these middle belters have gotten the message that, oh, if you go south, the southerners hate northerners. And they classify you as northerners. So you see somebody that is being troubled in Zamfara. The only place he can go to is the place that he's been told is safe, is the north. He moves to Plateau. There's trouble in Plateau. He moves to Kaduna. There's trouble in Kaduna. He moves to the north. He cannot even come down south because he has heard stories that may not be true. Yes, some are true, but they may not be true. But these stories were planted by these same evil geniuses. So it is just as if you are saying, as soon as you are born, just die. It pains me that, so if you see some people's responses to these tweets, I wonder whether you are human, whether you have actually experienced even a robbery or even a police, just see where they are burying a police officer, how they shoot gunshots. Just if you hear that they are burying a police officer, just go and visit it. You know how bad it is. You are standing and you hear a gunshot behind you, in front of you, a gunshot in front of you. Please, if you are supporting these people, I beg you, not for politics, not for anything, I beg you, please condemn them. It is your support and your silence that's enabling the nonsense they are doing. Please come out and speak against it. It is evil. It could be you. If you were born in that place, that would have been you. Adam, I'll yield the mic here. Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much, my brother. Thank you. All right, let me bring in. Take care. You want to say something real quick, sir?
Yes, I just wanted to round off with this before I go down to the listener section. If you guys look at what's happening in southern Kaduna, look at what's happening in the middle belt, you will notice that there is a trend. There are so many similarities in what's happening in southern Kaduna that's happening all across the middle belt with this banditry and these attacks in villages. So if there is a formula that they are using, you know that if they've tested it in one place, they will replicate it in other places. And that may be what's happening. Also, there is something kind of really fishy going on between Tinubu and El Rufai. Hear me out. Now, I cannot prove this, but it is just a theory. During the elections, when APC or when Tinubu got the nomination to represent APC, we all noticed at some point the Northerners were not campaigning with Tinubu. They were not there with him. He was just there with his group, touring, seeking, and doing what he had to do when he chose Shetima as his running mate. So many people were saying there's trouble in APC, there's trouble in APC. However, a month towards the election, something happened. What happened is El Rufai. El Rufai was not with him in the beginning, campaigning with him and being a solicitor in the north. But all of a sudden, El Rufai was hitting up the entire atmosphere with his support for Tinubu and the whole thing against CBN. Now, one thing people give Tinubu credit for is that he is the so-called master strategist, meaning that he is the best at offering you a deal you cannot refuse. What deal has he made with El Rufai that made El Rufai to come out of his state, campaign from one TV station to another TV station, to rally all APC governors to put a Supreme Court lawsuit against the CBN to get judgment against the CBN, against his Oga Buhari? Is anybody asked that question? What is this link that we keep hearing about El Rufai and the INEC chairman? Because it doesn't make sense that INEC will do all what it did and insist on Beavers and say that no, Beavers is this one, Beavers is that one, we'll make it happen this way. Only on the last day towards the election, something happened. Presidential election did not go through. Did El Rufai have anything to do with that? I'm just throwing things out there in the ether because I cannot prove anything. However, one day we know the proof will come out. But all I just want to say is that If this man has made a deal with Tinubu, God help us all if Tinubu has his way in our country. Because me, yes, I'm not around. But the rest of you guys that are in Nigeria will, maybe I will start fasting every week. I'm not a big faster. Maybe I will start fasting because I cannot begin to comprehend if these guys can do what they're doing in the Middle Belt and the Southern Kaduna, when Nigeria as a whole becomes their playing field, what will happen to the rest of us and all our interest? Thank you. I yield.
Well, thank you very much. Sheila, my brother, good evening. I have this. Sorry, Sean, if I come to Illinem, I've been here for long. Illinem, sorry, please. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, my brother.
Sorry, man. Sorry for the long keep. Sorry, Jerry. Continue, go on.
Oh no, I'll not waste time. I'll spend just about 2 minutes. Thanks for the opportunity to speak on this space. The only thing I have to say about El Rufai is that the initially, like, I always got this feeling that he was a very intelligent, smart person until I watched an interview of his on Channels TV where he boldly said that he paid these bandits to stop killing, and he was seriously defending it. And like I was taken aback because like anybody with an atom of wisdom would know that that was bound to be counterproductive. Um, I read an economics textbook a long time ago, and one of the principles of economics is that human beings respond to incentives, whether good or bad. So basically, like when you decide to pay people to stop killing, those on the sidelines will look at it and think, oh, so if El Rufai, if I take a gun and start killing people, El Rufai would pay me. Basically, you're incentivizing more killing, and the way these people are so lackluster about it, like you would know that this is exactly what they want, and that's why I was so I'm concerned about these elections, because I really can't understand why you would take that kind of man and make him the star boy of your party. When I see APC boys flaunt El Rufai like he's some kind of revolutionary or genius governor, it shocks me because personally see this man as either a very dumb person or a very wicked man. Because first and foremost, the first business of government is protection of life and property. If you like, build 200 skyscrapers and bridges. If you cannot protect life and property, you have failed. And Erufai is, based on that, he's probably the worst governor in Nigeria. And this man, God forbid, if Tinubu is sworn in, he will hold a sensitive position, probably something that has to deal with security. I am really, really worried for my country, and I'm praying every day that God will give us back our mandate. Otherwise, we are in for a very, very, very hard time. Thank you, Saddam. I yield the mic.
Thank you very much, my brother Elnem. Thank you very much. All right, Sheila, good evening, sir. You have the space.
Evening, my brother. Evening, everybody. Um, I'll just go straight into it. Um, we are dealing with a group of people with a certain ideology that dates back to this the they must dominate. That is why when they make certain terms, it's funny because it's so in your face. It is hard. It's almost, it's too easy to see. The fact that they will term something a cattle colony. What does a colony mean? A colony is an area that is controlled by a more powerful country. What does that mean? The fact that they were using those terms, what does that indicate? What are you coming to conquer? And why? That is why when they use certain terms, that's why somebody will come and tell you that he went to go and pay terrorists so that they will not come and kill your people, only for them to come and kill your people, and he's not doing a thing about it. In fact, he's even gaslighting the victims. This is what the Middle Belt has been going through for the past 23 years. In recent history, these are the people who are dealing with that key into this idea. That is why when you see these bodies, I mean, for me personally, I get triggered when I see them because there are memories I would rather keep on the wraps. There are certain things you don't want to talk about. When you get that familiar smell of rotting flesh, because there's been conflict in your hometown. These are what people live with on a daily, and that's why it's very one has to be mindful when someone is looking from the outside and saying that, oh, maybe they are not fighting for themselves. It's very easy until you're faced with a barrel of a gun to your face. It is not an easy thing. That is why I was looking through the chats and I saw one picture and I was laughing. I mean, because I saw a picture of a minister that said something within the lines of coming. He was at the time he was a cleric, and he made some proclamations saying they should come and kill people in my hometown. That minister, that's Pantami I'm talking about. What was his position? Minister of Communication. Somebody said something earlier about a sensitive position. And I can tell you that an El Rufai is gunning for nothing less than that. Remember in Chatham House, when they asked about security, who did Tinubu delegate to answer that question? It was El Rufai. And this is what this man does. Besides that, he launders his image on the media. He launders his image in the international community to look like somebody that is making sense, that is speaking sense. That is why he spends money. I urge everybody to go and read that article by on West African Weekly by Ibanga. He launders his image to look like, because that is his pride. As far as that is not tampered with, he's fine. He doesn't give a damn about whatever anybody says about him. But you see what he's instituting. Kaduna has nothing less than 5 key security outfits, including the Nigerian Defense Academy. Let me tell you something. When they kidnapped an officer from the Defense Academy, you might be surprised to know that that was not the first time they kidnapped somebody from there. There are cadets who were kidnapped before then. But guess what? Even when they got released, do you know what they said? They said where they were, where they held them, they were here in parade. Do you know what that means? For you to be here in parade, that means you're not so far from that place, from the academy. Imagine going to West Point in the United States and kidnapping somebody. Where do you want to live? They will kill you before you know it. This is the man I'm telling you that there's nothing that anybody would tell me. This man wants to be in charge of the entire security of the nation. We have seen you when if these people may get their way, what the likes of Pantami have done will be child's play. I would indulge everybody, if those of us in Nigeria, if you can, spend time and please go to an IDP, visit them. You will understand the trauma that the average Nigerian is facing. There's a picture of a girl that haunts me. I can never forget her. This was when I was back in Jos. I went and visited. We dropped supplies at an IDP, and we were greeting them, and she was staring into the void, staring at nothing. My mother went to try and comfort her and greet her. She was not responding. I clocked it. I just pulled my mother away. I said, please leave her, leave her. It was people around us that were telling her story. That at the time, from a family of 5, she watched the men in her family, her father and her brother, get hacked to death right in front of her. And she did not know where her younger siblings were. Out of a family of 5, she's the only one. That's just one story. There are so many stories. And these are when Peter Obi is talking about multi-dimensional poverty, these are the things that are making you understand and that what this multi-dimensional poverty is being contributed by. And a government, there's nothing anybody that will say. The government is complicit. Because if you can focus and show that you have more concern for quote unquote repentant bandits, and you give them bazaar, and you give them all that, but people are languishing in IDPs, and you cannot show them the empathy, you cannot show them any concern. You're more focused on these people, on reintegrating them into the system, sometimes even into the military, into the security architecture. Then you are completely complicit. This is exactly why we must. I know it is a lot for obedience. I know, because it seems like we're having to deal with every single thing, having to address every single issue. But this is exactly what we are up against, because nobody else will do it. There is nobody else. I keep saying this thing. Where obedience, we have to move like as if we're orphans. Nobody is coming. Nobody. But us. And that is why I commend everybody. I commend Saddam, I commend Sizzle, because it is when we understand exactly what we're up against collectively and close ranks that we can have a chance. And as bleak as everything sounds, I'm happy that at least we're having to have this discussion collectively so we can all understand. Because if we do not, this man, these people, Rufai and co, forget the fact that Tinubu is doing what he's doing. Do you know the people behind him? We've not even talked about Shetima. Ladies and gentlemen, we must keep fighting. We must ensure that we keep this thing at the front. they must not forget. They must not forget. And we must not forget either, because these are Nigerian citizens killed on a daily. It doesn't have to get to your doorstep before you speak up. And I'm glad that we're doing that. Lately, my prayer for every APC member is that God will give them the spirit. It's nothing hard, but that God should give them the spirit of exhaustion and long suffering. Let them wake up every morning exhausted, so that they will understand that the blood and the schemes that they have put in front of Nigerians will never let them rest. Thank you. I yield.
Thank you very much, my brother Shilo. Thank you. You know what you were saying. I keep remembering that this man said this guy will be in charge of security. Hey, God have mercy. Oh God, the most insecure state. That is just APC for you. The most insecure state. The most insecure state in Nigeria is the person in charge of the most insecure state. The state that has all the. If Kaduna can be getting attacked the way Kaduna is getting right now, even Lagos is not. Even Lagos, even Abuja should not be as safe as Kaduna is. All the military installments, all the military security, not just military, all our security apparatus, all our security institutions, all of them are almost headquartered in Kaduna.
Sorry, do you mind if I list some of them for you?
Please do, my brother. Please do.
See, let's start from the Nigerian Defense Academy. You have old site, you have new site. You have the Air Force outfit. You have what do you call it? And let's not forget the Nigerian Defense Academy is split into 3, right? You have the War College, Jaji.
Yeah,
There is no
yeah.
officer that will not go to Jaji for whether it's young officers course or a junior officers course. You have even the civilian airport is right there. And please, for God's sake, let nobody fool you. Nigeria, the whole of Nigeria is barely competing with Texas. Are you telling me you cannot run a perimeter? You cannot run a radius and survey that place and catch these people? Look at all these outfits that I'm telling you about. You can imagine. And you cannot fish these people out, and they are kidnapping children from a secondary school, and they are kidnapping cadets and officers, and
It's
you
crazy.
cannot say anything about it.
It's crazy.
Is it that they can't fly drone over that forest and know
It's
what
crazy.
is really happening?
My brother,
If
do you know
Kaduna can get all these heat, honestly speaking, there is nowhere in Nigeria that is safe.
there were initiatives within the army? They said, please let us get blips. You know these blips that go in the air. This like that they can go as high as it's like a balloon. You just but they said let them connect surveillance to them, fly them into the air, and then they'll be surveilling. They'll be doing surveillance. That was swept under the rug.
It is well. Thank you very much, my brother. Thank you. It just imperative we allow and just understand how strategic Kaduna is. And I've been saying this because I want to mirror it down to Nigerians for Nigerians to understand that Kaduna is like the testing ground to show Nigerians the plan for APC has for Nigerians. Kaduna is Nigeria, mini Nigeria. APC have succeeded in turning Kaduna now to a Muslim ticket. APC have succeeded in making Kaduna that should be the most safest state in Nigeria. Kaduna should be the most safest state in Nigeria. APC have turned that state now to be a killing field in just one part of the state, the southern part. This is exactly what is coming in. So when we're saying all these things, you're like, no, you go reach. That's the plan for APC. We came here and somebody
Yeah, this is the man Tinubu wants to put in charge of national security
national security
under teamship.
on
Ah,
that
God, I
on that
beg.
teamship, and in a ticket that will be it will be it will be a Muslim ticket, and you put El Rufai that people are dying in his state. He has not even opened one mouth. You will
Said
see him tomorrow.
arresting power.
You will see him tomorrow. He will come and make tweets, or his children will come out and make tweets and say some sort of nonsense. They do not even care about humanity. People will be dying their droves in Nigeria. And these people come out and tell you that no, that's normal. It's just so crazy, honestly. It's crazy. But that's where we found ourselves with this satanic evil party. We just have to make sure that
When
we
I
end
saw
up.
that, I saw that Vatican news. So even the Vatican is talking about the amount of Christians killed in Nigeria. Man, my brother, we can't continue like this. So
No, something must give way. That's why I'm not worried. Something must give way. All right, Benga, come in, please. Here. Good evening. Benga, Mike, Molly, are you
Yeah,
there?
good evening, Saddam. Good morning. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Saddam, I want to first of all thank you for what you're doing, for your moderating spirit, and how you've stayed your ground, not allowing the space to be hijacked, particularly your clear thoughts as to how you cited the example of Nnamdi Kanu, and much more importantly, understand the responsibility of uh, bringing people together, the caution and the carefulness that is demanded. I give it to all of you, the co-hosts, and every other person. I want to speak a little bit on the Southern Kaduna killing, but I want to make a disclaimer first. You see, I am a Christian, but it's quite unfortunate that some persons in a part of the country, they've made everybody in Islam, in fact, virtually everybody in Islam, to appear kind of terrible and bad and evil. Why am I saying that? I was opportune to have lived in many parts of the Middle East before, and I would take Saudi Arabia for example. If you try terrorism on Saudi Arabia's soil, you are done for. I'm telling you, you are gone. In fact, recently they have this process of installing police outside to see whether you preach terrorism in your mosque. If they see any imam preaching terrorism, extremism, the imam is gone, and that's the sole duty of the Isba police. And each time I saw that kind of thing, I am afraid that what? And some persons in Nigeria want to be claiming that this is the religion they are doing. In fact, they go so terrible using what the state might to back up whatever they are doing. And because what I see in Kaduna is not just there's a state back into all of these things. Obviously, you cannot argue about it. But why now is a little story I'm gonna tell. You see, it's not new. The way they learn their terrible Islam, I have made that disclaimer first. That's not Islam from what I've seen recently, at least in the Middle East. But at least the way they have learned it, some of these terrible people feel when it is time to make to end fasting, there must be some sort of what jihad, and this thing you can trace it back for over 30 years. And let there be some sort of attack, and that will be their own type of jihad. is always, if it has always happened. It's not just now, I'm telling you. But the question is, what is the guy doing? And from my body, from the body language of this man, this guy is actually what involved. Why is he involved? Like people have rightly said, he came on national television telling the whole world how much they paid to terrorists or bandits or whatever. Please. The second thing is that I don't want us to be carried away by nomenclatures such as Fulani herdsmen, bandits, Boko Haram, terrorists. As much as we know that there are different factions, even in the words in the international terrorist group, some will say, "Fine, we are member of ISWAP. We are not yet member of ISWAP." I want to tell you, these guys are just changing nomenclature practically, and I have my facts. I rewind back to 2014. Some of my friends in the north. I've lived in the north for short times too. When my father used to, actually, my father was in the Nigerian Army a long time, very long time ago. And after that, he was a contractor in the north, always taking to the north. So I kind of understand his demography, and I got to know some. At least I still have friends. Even though I was supporting Buhari, I wanted Buhari to come to be the president, fully knowing his antecedent with Idiagbon, thinking Idiagbon would be in charge, and I felt Oshibajo would be able to use his knowledge of being a professor to do something. At least I'm also from the academy. Unfortunately, that was kind of the disappointment. But this is the thing. All my friends that supported Jonathan, when the results were being announced, at the time they were just telling him that, please, let not Jonathan win. They supported Jonathan because they saw the terror brewing, that if Jonathan was ever announced, they knew that what that part of the country was going to explode. They understood it clearly. So their prayer had to change. So you see some sort of unholy alliance with some groups, with some persons, so that if the result never actually go in their favor, 2011 would have been child's play. You know what happened in 2011 when youth coppers were massacred and were wiped out and all that? That was what happened in 2011. Let's not forget that. So they had strategically placed that if it had gone the other way, let's say if Jonathan had rigged himself in, and who were the ones doing this? It was not the normal Almajiris. These were what? The strange earth men from the bush. If a lot of you know, if you know, these are strong Bororos. If you know the Bororos, some type of Fulanis, they were ready for this massacre. That was the thing. So when some people will come and say, "No, Wari knows about these things or whatever," I will tell you, I don't think he knows about it. But once you have some terrible and unholy alliance with some people, it was even so difficult for Buhari to mention what the headsmen, when this thing happened, when this thing started. It was very, very difficult. Because what? There was that unholy alliance, people that pledged their lives what to him. And from nowhere, that thing changed to bandits. And no, they were not using that terms again. So as to make them look like what? They don't have any what? Attachment to the state. And I want to tell us that thing lingered and is still what operating with different name. And why I'm hammering so much from this dimension was because of my mom's experience. She owned a block industry in a part of the north, and exactly in 2000
was it November 2015? The there's a guy there from the boundary of Oyo State, uh, not known to a lot of us. The guy, of course, a Muslim guy, very nice. The first time these so-called elders, Fulani elders, let's just call it what it is, would come into the compound for the block industry, would break pipes for sprinkling and all that. Mom came back. Are you okay? What happened to you? No, it was not him. It was these Fulani people that did this. Blah, blah. So you better be careful. If this thing happens again, your job is gone. So by the time these guys came the next time, two Fulanis with a lot of cattle, too numerous to count, one person, he stood to this thing. In fact, we never even knew the kind of person that was working with money. I was not in the country then. I was busy with my research. And the guy was like, "What are you trying to do? Do you wanna take me off my Somebody came into your compound and was still willing to fight you because you not allow the cattle to go around and eat the grain and break the pipe as usual. So the guy wrestled with a Fulani guy who actually wanted to cut the guy's neck. When he wrestled with the Fulani and he collected a knife and took one finger off to the floor, I'm telling you, immediately this guy was picked to the uh, to the headquarters. I'm not speaking Nollywood. Like I said, I was far away. I know how much I spent. I know the persons we went to in this country. This guy would not come out for weeks. He didn't come out. We did everything. Mom just said she was just sleeping and she just got to know when this thing happened. This guy is a devoted Muslim now. So mommy just went and she went to some of the strong imams. That why are you persecuting your brethren? They shouted, "What? You mean this guy is a Muslim?" God bears me witness. This is not Nollywood. That guy was released that day. I know how much we had spent before then. He was released that day. This is not Nollywood. So from then, late 2015, I knew what we were coming to serve in Nigeria. And I was not surprised that these things were happening and happening and happening. It has always happened. Let us not forget. The problem in Benue has always happened. The Southern Canadian has always happened. But now they have a kind of what? No, our people are in charge. And that is what is playing out. That thing that, no, don't worry. Our people are in charge. And the coming days be more challenging. Why? Because they're going to miss Buhari. When I was talking about the monetary issue, let's not forget that in a way, as much as the Naira redesign thing was badly handled, kidnapping, banditry kind of reduced in a way. But we could see people that were kind of, okay, push, oh yeah, please bring that, who have no plan for security, but their interest was about the money. And the guy said,
Menga, please, can you wrap up in a
okay.
minute, please?
So what we're about, what we're seeing what we're going to see in some days will be challenging. But what I'm going to employ people to do is that what than ever, let us call out these things. Let us give people from that zone, those people who are on ground, let us give them the space
to be able to give us live reports. Zachary, what's his name? A guy has been doing something similar like that. Please, let them keep bringing out these things, because the conspiracy of silence has been a major tool again. So, like I said, I like what we're doing, and we should give more space to open up some of these rots on our soil. I use my mic. Thank you.
Thank you very much, my brother Benga. Thank you. Honestly, oh God have mercy. The story of the middle belt, when people come out and start telling you their personal stories, it could be so depressing, when you hear what Nigerians have passed through, what Nigerians are passing through in their own country, in their own ancestral land. It's not as if they even left their land to go to distant lands and they were being maltreated. In your own very house, in your very own home, the agenda and plans of some certain people have just made the country so unbearable for us. It's unfortunate though, but thank you very much. Uh guys, I think we have to end the space now. I've had a very long space. I don't think we can go any more further. Please, on Thursday we'll be back here. Thursday, Nigerian time, 4 p.m. God willing, we'll be back here on Saturday. Also, please, it is important we help these our brothers and sisters in the middle belt. I have seen and I've seen headlines of attacks in Nasarawa, attacks on the plateau, attacks in Kaduna, all in the space of 24 hours. And then when you expect prominent handles, prominent voices to come out and be speaking, they will not say anything.
They will translate this one to Hausa.
They will not translate this one. Wale Soyinka will not come out and go and grant interview and ask for Nigerians. Obedience have not for one day. We have not harmed one soul. One soul in Nigeria has not been harmed by an obedient in this country. Not one. We lost so many of our people. We lost 3 people in Lagos. So many people are just follow GRV handle and you see 3 people died on March 18th. So many people are having broken bones, some will not use their eyes anymore. We have been victims in this country, and the voices you expect to come out and speak are not even saying anything. They swallow the thing. They believe say it could pass. Are you seeing this so there are so many come out to say about these people? It is only when Peter, it is all they are always united in when they want to attack Peter. That's when you see the worst of us. You see the ones that you have not heard of in the past 10 years. Silence will rise up whenever Peter talks, or whenever they want to. He's their common enemy. But people that are killing Nigerians in their millions, displacing Nigerians in their millions, killing Nigerians in their thousands. More people have died in Kaduna, southern Kaduna, under Rufai than people have died in Ukraine, in the Ukraine-Russia war. It is crazy. Innocent lives are being killed, and this man has paid the media, he has paid everywhere to make sure that his name is not, and he has also done everything to attack this space. In fact, some people cannot log into this space from Nigeria. So that is how far we have gone. Please, guys, help our brothers in the middle belt amplify this message with the hashtag tomorrow. Today we're just cut off in the whole space and everything that we could not even help them trend today. But please make tweets for them. Whatever you're doing tomorrow, help stop the genocide in southern Kaduna. You can also tweet stop the middle belt genocide. Just keep tweeting. That is the best thing we can do with our voices right now. Keep speaking, and when people tell you, you put talk. Yes, that's what you have to do. Talk, speak. The defense secretary have come out and said there will be that the next military there will be let me read it, sir. It's not bad as well. It is time to dominate cyberspace. Defense minister. So if anybody comes out and tell that what you're speaking or what you're talking is no, they understand how powerful your voices are on social media. If not, they would have never have banned Twitter. If Twitter was just talk, then why would they ban it? If what you're saying on social media spaces is not hurting them, it's not spoiling their plans, why should they ban Twitter? Why should the defense minister come out today and talk about even dominating cyberspace? Let it be in any term. Why should FFK and Festus and the rest fly down to America? Nigerians have not even stood up yet. We are just making sure that they are very uncomfortable on this social media space. Do not allow them. Do not sit 1 inch. Continue to do the work you can do. Continue to speak out. N6, your hands are up. I don't know if you want to say something. Come in here, my brother.
Yes, just very, very quickly. I wanted to drop this here that Governor Adeleke, the man who dances but gets the job done, on the 18th of April 2023, Governor Adeleke summoned emergency security meeting and ordered statewide patrols over the menace of kidnapping and banditry in Osun State. This was just 13th of April. It's on Vanguard newspaper. Kidnapping. Adeleke summons emergency security meeting and orders statewide patrols over the rising menace. The state recently witnessed a spate of kidnappings, including the kidnappings of the wife of an Ogboni leader in Imesi Ile, travelers along Oshogbo Road, a herdsman in Ela, and recently a couple returning from church vigil along Oshogbo Road were kidnapped. So the governor went to work. In Adeleke's words, we are going to stop the activities of men of the other ground. We must sustain current synergy amongst agencies, hence the police, the DSS, the civil defense, and the Amoteku and others must intensify joint operations. So you see, when you have a governor who life matters to, who does not drink blood with his conflicts like Nasiru El Rufai, because I don't understand how common a couple was kidnapped coming back from vigil and an Ogboni leader's wife. Adeleke didn't say, hey, I'm a Christian. Ogboni, why go help Curtis' wife when they kidnap? He didn't say that. He ordered statewide patrols. This is just the 13th, 5 days ago. But somehow Nasiru El Rufai, that has read all the books in the world, just has no ideas on how to stop banditry and kidnapping in Kaduna. Just 3 people were kidnapped in Osun. Adeleke ordered statewide patrol. 400 and something were killed in 8 days. And Nasiru El Rufai has not even put out a tweet. But let Aisha Yusufu say anything about Peter B. That giraffe-necked son of his will be on Twitter having the most to say. But you can see it today. So people of Southern Kaduna, I don't know, but there must be lawyers amongst you. Get the constitution, go over it. Let's find a legal way to get this done. We're going to talk, we're going to scream. But if there's one person that we're going to take out the next few days to really tarnish his image, since I have continually heard that Nasiru El Rufai loves his image. I don't know what image he has. Is it his physical image or is it his social image? I don't know what image he has. He's always so careful of, but we are really going to highlight his image. Let the world know. It's going to be very loud that Nasiru El Rufai somehow loses his brain cells when it comes to the security situation in Kaduna State. If he doesn't have any ideas on what to do, he can go and call his colleague, Governor Adeleke, and let Adeleke tell him that at least you can start with statewide patrols of the military police installments in your state first. Since Nasiru El Rufai's brain and the brain of his children and all of them joined together cannot Google what to do in a state that is going through this kind of problems. But he's the one that they will give teamship. He's the one Tinubu is touting as the one that will be in charge of security of Nigeria. Well, if you people are not ready to do this country as a country, just tell us so that we will know. Just tell us, we will know. This Kaduna mess has gone on far enough. If Nasiru El Rufai will not do anything about it, then I promise him an onslaught on social media that no amount of buffer, you see, as Tinubu Day now, no amount of money can change Tinubu's story in the world. I will suggest there will be a media storm coming. Since Nasiru El Rufai wants to tell us that he has the gun, the bomb, and the bullets, we will tell him that we have social media. And we will start tweeting about Nasiru El Rufai. We will start reminding the world of his scandals till either Daily Loud or Uber Facts just remembers that there's one governor in Nigeria, or till the Pope will announce that Nasiru El Rufai is complicit in the killing of Christians in Kaduna. Something will give. We will pressure Nasiru El Rufai's name till one big person, either Joe Biden, person go call him name, say this man is complicit in the killings in Kaduna. Don't worry. He will fuck around and find out. He will fuck around and find out. Enough is enough. Because you can't be killing people for 8 years without consequences on yourself. Nobody is leaving you for karma and nemesis. This week, Nasiru El Rufai, online, as obedience, we are going to drag the living daylight. He's Kuku a short man. He doesn't have weight. So to drag him, no go hard. We will drag him. That his name. Anything on Nasiru El Rufai you can find that is damaging to his personality, we are going to push it out this week till he gets up and does something that, since he wants them to be killing people in Kaduna, we'll kill his reputation. We can't kill him physically, but we'll kill his reputation. So that at least there'll be 2 deaths in Kaduna. Since obedience, we found out that we know they harm people in real life, but this thing where they do online, they pain them. That's what we are going to do to Nasiru El Rufai this week. Enough is enough. I personally am suffering sympathizers fatigue. It is time to bring this battle to his own doorstep. So from this week, we are going to make Nasiru El Rufai very famous as each killing in Kaduna. Enough is enough. I saw the videos of those women crying, and I've listened to some testimonies here. I've listened to Sheila Dr. Simdula. I've listened to Benga's testimony. Nigeria cannot continue like this, and we must get this mandate back and get this country working. My goodness. I love you all. I'll go back to listening. Thank you very much, Saddam. Cheers.
Thank you very much, my brother. I've been on his timeline looking for any news related to people of Southern Kaduna plight and everything. There's nothing. All he does is tweet against Peter Obi, tweet against, and show propaganda up and down. I have just been looking and I'm wondering. Nothing. The dwarf of Kaduna needs to be dragged. He needs to be called out. And I made a tweet earlier and I said today, you can make, if you like, build 1 billion flyovers and tar all the roads in Nigeria. The primary duty of every government is
Protection of lives and property.
Protection of lives and properties. If you cannot protect lives and properties, they have no business in governance. You're failed. Because when you build all the flyovers, it's not zombies or cops that are gonna do this thing. That are gonna drive or live in all those your projects. So it is important that you protect lives and properties any way you can do it. You are very big, loud-mouthed in other people's administration, calling out other governments, and it has come to your time. People have died. Thousands of people have died under your watch, and you don't even facilitate them. You don't even have that human sympathy. You are just a cold, stone-hearted human being. It's unfortunate. Our job is to call you out. Benga, I'm trying to close this place
Yeah,
now. So honestly,
I'm going to send something to you.
all right, please
There's
do.
this guy, one of the top naval officers, retired. Yes, I think he made a comprehensive expose
on what is happening in Kaduna after the NDA attack. And sincerely, it's just enough to give you the revelation behind the entire rubbish backed by Rufai. So I'm going to look for it on Channel Television and send to you. The
All
guy
right,
is
thank
not,
you.
sincerely, is not.
Thank you very much, bro. Thank you. Thank you. All right, guys. I think we have come to the end of today's space. Thank you all of you for coming out. Please, as I wrap up, I just want to say this it's very, very important. Thank you guys for always sticking up. Thank you for always speaking to the issues on this platform. That's what we always do. Please, this is one big house. We do not discriminate. We do not judge people. We do not gag people. As long as you're obedient, I don't have time for any other person. If you're APC PDP, that's on you, and that's not what we do here. But as long as you're obedient, whatever you believe in, practice it. And I say this all the time. Please, you might be that one person that we have the idea to help us take back our mandate. When you have that, get the idea, put it to work. Put it to work. Whatever you believe or whatever you think, put it to work. Do not wait for Saddam or N6 or Tumba or Zos or even Mary White or any other person. You can do it. We are all one. We are all human beings, all moving in different directions. Do what you claim. Don't be a noisemaker and just come out and tell people you must do this. No, no, no. Do what you believe that should be done. Do it. Put it to work. If the world sees what you're doing is right, people will tag along with you. You understand? So I'm just saying this for all of us here. So going forward, please, I on my own, I will never impose myself or my beliefs on everybody. I believe what I want is we're going to get our mandate back at the right time. And I'm following our principle because I understand perfectly well the amount of attacks that man is getting behind the scene that many of us don't even know. I see that myself and I imagine the amount of attacks me myself I get as a person alone. And I now put it and I say, whatever attack I'm getting, I multiply it times a million times. It's what that man is passing through every day. And he comes out, wear his smiling face, go on his flights, laugh with people, play with people and the rest, and you don't know that this man is fighting a whole generation. A whole generation here. He's fighting battles that we on our own. So I don't think there's anybody more obedient than Peter Obi. Nobody is more obedient than the man himself. He has invested billions. Peter Obi's campaign was financed 80% by himself. 80% of the whole financing he did himself. And it's not like people did not offer money or they don't want to offer money. Billionaires were queuing from the north to the south to the east and west. Were asking. In fact, his inner circle were they got angry with him. People will tell you things. I don't disclose so many things up here. The man said no, because he's a very principled man and he understands that there are some people money you collect, that money is like in Igbo land, they call it ofo. It's like a contract. It's binding. And this man has invested his time, his reputation, his life, everything has been on the line for this movement because he also believes that Nigeria has to work. The same way many of us believe in that Nigeria has to work. So please, I'm saying this just to encourage one or two of you out there. Please do not be distracted. The loudest people in the room are not always right. Have never always been right. Always think before you act. Always be strategic. Always be strategic. Emotions, anger is not an emotion. Anger is not a strategy, please. Anger is not a strategy. Please and please, no matter how angry you want to be, no matter how vexed you want to be, no matter how tired is not a strategy. You must be strategic. And we do a lot of work behind the scene. I don't come out here to talk about because spaces are not where you talk about what you will do. Spaces are not where you go and talk. I will do this. We will do this. We will do that. We should do this. We should do that. If you're not already doing it, then you're already wrong first. Whatever you come up with space that we should, and you're not already doing, you're already wrong. It should be, we are doing this. I won't say much here, but we are doing this. So I just say this to encourage one or two of you people out there. Please do not stop tweeting. Do not stop retweeting, do not stop sharing posts across the social media. It is very, very, very effective. The power we yield as a people is in our voice and in our ability to create narratives, in our ability to stand and defend Peter, in our ability to stand and defend Nigeria. One thing I always say and I always tell myself is that, Saddam, you're fighting a good fight. If you are inside your heart that you're not convinced that you're fighting a good fight, you're not fighting this battle. If you are convinced you're fighting a good fight, you will stand by your convictions, you will do what you think is right, irrespective of whoever is telling you. If it's Saddam telling you, don't do it, do it. If you know what you're doing is right. If it is else is telling, do, as long as inside yourself, you know that what you're saying is right, is the right thing, you feel deep inside you, strong about it. My brother, my sister, do it. As long as it is within the law. We can come out here and scream and shout and say whatever we want to say. I say it all the time that whatever we do on the violence space, there's a reason why you can never see any recording of the violence space played in any other place. They do not, it's not like they don't record our spaces. They record our spaces and play it within their chambers. They do never, ever, 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 ever cut out our spaces and post it online. Because it is an indictment. It's an indictment of them. And if there's anything I'm proud by ourselves in this movement is that ability to that we try and stick to topics and discuss issues. Please, guys, this week should be a very, very hot week for Rufai. Rufai should have no rest this week. Tweet him, call him out, go do your research. You've been on this platform for long. Go there, get that man he has so much baggage. Forget all that he built in Abuja and the rest. That man is a fucking criminal too. If you can dig out his files in Abuja, there are videos, there are clips of how this is Giraffe next door now. All the lands that are allocated to him while he was the minister in Abuja. This guy's a fucking corrupt family. But he has understood how he has whitewashed himself and laundered his image, and he's not looking like, and he has bribed, so he has paid off so many of your influencers. So many of your influencers are financed by him, either by one way or the other. So right now they cannot even speak. People are dying. Go and look at all of them deeper. Check whether any of them are Twitter about Southern Kaduna, then you understand what we're saying. Go and look at them, Momoju and the rest. Just go and look at your intellectuals. Check whether they're talking about people that are dying in Southern Kaduna. Go and check them. They don't say anything about these people's plight because this man is in control of all those boys. So we're all we have, my people. Keep speaking out. Do not relent. Please use this week and drag that man. Probably he will wake up and say, let me protect this. Let me do my job as a governor for once. It is very, very important, please. Please join our people that are making these hashtags. I think the hashtag that have been trending. Please stop the killings of Southern Kaduna. Stop the genocide in Southern Kaduna. Hashtag stop the genocide in Southern Kaduna. Hashtag.
Baba, we need hashtag we go implicate El Rufai. Go El Rufai. Stop the killing in Kaduna.
Yeah,
You know something that we implicate him,
honestly.
him and his name, stain his name. Make people begin notice. Say, what are Nigerians complaining about this? Who be this new one where they trend for Nigeria now?
Because the man I'll send you a link, N16. I'll send you a link. This man has up until Oxford University, he has paid hey, God have mercy. What this man is doing to launder his image, even in the diaspora, you'll be shocked. You'll be shocked.
I mean, they're drinking cognac of £9,000. How much is it to pay to launder image?
Honestly, you'll be shocked. So we really have to expose this man. I think I support that I support that Rufai stop the Southern Kaduna killings. I think that's a very powerful hashtag. When he sees his name trending, he will get to work. Because Buhari has even forgotten about his job that he's president. He's just waiting to do. I don't know what he's waiting for. But you that you're the governor, you sit down there, you cannot even come out and make tweets, pretend. What pains me past the wickedness of these people. You can't even pretend. Just pretend that you see their plight. Oh, sorry, I have seen it. My government is good. There is no statement.
Jonathan, that time will commemorate and commiserate. This one now, lock up.
Lock up! Like, no human beings, they die like this. They just lock up. More. All right, now, guys. I think we'll make that N6. I think we'll make that hashtag tomorrow. We'll make some tweets about it. So, guys, please just jump on the hashtag. I don't know whether we can do that this night, but guys, just jump on the hashtag, please. In fact, let me do it now. We have numbers here. We can end it with this night. Let me just make a tweet with it so that N6, are you there?
Yes, I am, bro.
Please, I beg, just be, if you can chime in a little bit, let me try and make a tweet, I beg. Rufai, stop the Kaduna genocide. Right?
Perfect.
Let's call this man out, please. People are dying like chickens in your state, and you're doing nothing.
I just did a Google search. How many people died in Kaduna starting from 2016 till 2023? It's crazy. All the numbers are like date of birth: 1942, 1855, 1073. Like, what is going on? It's not fair now. These
It's
are
not
human
fair.
beings we're talking about here, not chicken or cattle. Even them will be the headsmen. If you kill one of their cow, they know as they pain. But you go kill 40 villagers. You know as one cow be you talk less of 40 cows. Then you go they kill 40 people. Human being whether they carry 9 months to born, train. Nah, man, bullshit, man. We have to drag this man. We'll drag his leg out.
Honestly, guys, please, I just posted on the Jumbotron right now. El Rufai, stop the Southern Kaduna genocide. Please, guys.
Southern Kaduna people, get where you go reach, maybe they go find problem with Putin. Because at this point, if Ukraine is having less people dead than in Southern Kaduna, maybe they go find problem with Russia. Maybe they just sit down and begin insult Russia. Maybe Putin. I don't know what to do, but they need to do something crazy. Let them get the Chinese involved. I don't know.
Let's do the one we can do. Let's do the one we can do.
Nobody is coming to save us. Let's do what
Yeah, let's do what we can do. There's nobody coming to save them. They
El
will have to.
Rufai, stop Kaduna genocide.
Yeah, it's up there on the Jumbotron. So please, guys, we have I don't know how many of us are in the house. Over 600 of us on the platform. Probably 100 or 200 of them will be Abado people. His boys hearing what we're telling him. Please play him this tape. Let him know that he's a vile man. That he does not belong to where human beings stand. For him to stand up and have no regard for human beings, like just because they're not same tribe or same religion as he is. Human beings are being killed and massacred, and he has all the power stops on his desk.
He's the governor. He either does something or resign.
Yes. And apart from that, Kaduna should be the most safest state in Nigeria with all our security institutions stationed in that state. All. Everything is there. NDAO, that's Nigeria Defense Academy is there. If you check where, like my brother said, Gaji, police institution is there. Navy, Air Force, everything is stationed in that place. That's where they have their trainings. How can you now be the governor of that state and people are dying more than people in Russia, in Ukraine? How? How can you explain this to a common man? Then when the people are dying, you're not going to tell us, show a picture of where you tar road. It is crazy.
And it's an embarrassment to the military as well. I don't know if they are seeing it that way.
Is that an embarrassment or an indictment? It's an indictment.
Both of them, to be honest. If they're not complicit, it's an embarrassment. If they're complicit, it's an indictment.
So please, guys, let's make tweets. Let's make tweets with the hashtag. If we can trend this hashtag all through this night. Please make multiple tweets before you sleep. Even if it's 2, 3, 4, 5 tweets, make it go into tomorrow. Make tweets when you see the tweets. Retweet it. All our big handles in the platform. Please do the same thing for us. Let us just try and amplify these people's pains. That's the only thing we can do right now to help them and just help these guys. Help our brothers and sisters that are hurting in that region. Hopefully something, they get justice, and hopefully if they don't get justice, they can stand up and say no, enough is enough, and just do something right, honestly speaking. But that man has to be held responsible. If not now, when he eventually leaves power, we're going to have to take that man before the international court. He should stand trial before the Hague. There is no reason why you as a governor, you should have shown enough empathy to even sympathize with your people. No. People are there in Southern Canada today. Tomorrow you're taking chieftaincy title. People are there in Southern Canada today. You're not even tweeting about it. It is just you're not even showing any sign as if it's your own state people are dying. There is no human sympathy or empathy in this man. He does not have one. I don't know whether it's the heart of a cow that he has. Because not the human being. Human being will, at least, even how wicked you are, no matter how wicked. That's why I see APC here. APC must die in Nigeria. APC has shown Nigeria the heart of insensitivity any country will ever see. That party we must end that party. It must end. Their reign must end in this country. If not, all right now, guys, I just have to.
Salah, there was a time in my life when I hear Islamization agenda, I used to be excited. Let me tell you why. I used to go to Dubai. I told you I went to Dubai as early as 1996 on a family holiday. They scammed us. It was a dead place. I go there in 2006 and I can't believe it. I go there in 2016. I can't believe it. So all my life, when I hear of an Islamization agenda, as a young UK student or as a young person living in America, then I used to only think they'll give you a lot of development, but they'll ban alcohol. That was what I used to think was an Islamization agenda. I liked the name. You hear, that the Islamic banks give the lowest interest. What's that thing? They give loans. They don't stress people. So when you hear Islamization agenda, in my mind, I was so excited. I felt Dubai, UAE, that kind of thing, but they'll ban alcohol. Nigeria come begin, they carry me, they go where I no. So even Muslims are like, this is not Islam. This is not Islam. Then Buhari came and carried a known terrorist and made him Minister of Communications. And the first thing he did was told all Nigerians to register their line. Somehow, you'll be kidnapped in Nigeria. A kidnapper will call you with a registered Nigerian line where his biometric was taken, fingerprint was taken, his picture was taken before he registered that line. But you'll be kidnapped in Nigeria. A kidnapper will call you with confidence because the Minister of Information would never make that kidnap sent to the Nigerian police, and the Nigerian police will never trace it. They'll tell you, just pay them so they don't kill your loved ones. We are in a narco state. We have always been in a narco state. But now, due to impunity, they are now trying to enshrine a narco leader. And I said, not my president. All of this started from Buhari, leading to this impunity, and Bola Ahmed Tinubu solidifying it. And I will not, because under Buhari in the last 8 years, with a Muslim president and a Christian vice, all these killings have been going on. Imagine when it's a Muslim ticket, and even worse, not even an honorable Muslim ticket, a drug baron, Pablo Escobar, and Osama bin Laden in Aso Rock. I say it will never happen. I yield. God bless you all Nigerians. God bless you, Saddam.
Thank you very much, my brother. God bless you too, guys. I think we'll just wrap up the space now. I just want you guys, please make tweets for us. Whatever you're tweeting, please, Rufai, stop the Southern Kaduna genocide. It's very, very important to trend that also. While we are trending
Kaduna genocide, now they kill everybody for Kaduna. The old Kaduna, Rufai, stop Kaduna genocide. Stop it.
No, it's Southern Kaduna. Nobody's dying in Northern Kaduna. It's Southern Kaduna.
Southern Kaduna, Southern Kaduna genocide. Yes,
it's
that's
specific
good.
why they are doing it in that place.
Specific, yes. It makes sense. Southern Kaduna, brother. Well done.
Yeah, Southern Kaduna genocide. Thank you, bro. All right, guys, please make of Benue State. You see him every time crying. If you say it's power for security is the hand of the federal government, at least cry. Let the Nigerians say that you're crying. Or people are your state people are there, but you're not showing any empathy. So that means you're complicit.
When Emefiele held the Naira, he was crying. This is stressing the people of Kaduna. It's stressing my people. The people of Kaduna, I'm going to pass a law when Tinubu enters that we will still be using the old notes. You love Kaduna people when it's Naira policy, but when they are killing and butchering Southern Kaduna people, you are okay with it. You have not tweeted on the issue. It's Peter Obi that gives you an erection. God will judge you.
You have not just tweeted. You have not done a press conference. You have not done anything about the issue. Nothing. For 8 years of your ascendancy as governor till the end now, you have not done anything. People have just been dying under your watch. People have not been dying under your watch as a governor. You're the worst governor in the history of Nigeria, Rufai. The worst.
You know, he doesn't know. He thinks it's by building bridge and flyover. He doesn't know that his whole regime is F9.
The worst. You have everything to say to other people when you were in opposition. Now you've gotten power. You cannot even secure your people. So please, guys, call that man out. Let him have no peace or no rest. He should have no peace or no rest on this social media space. None at all. None. Drag Satan out of him. Drag him out, please, guys. Please. Until he does something. And someone is even telling me, yes, he's actually sponsoring Oxford University. He's financing Oxford University in London. So please, as you tag, you can also make tweets and tag Oxford University. Let them know. Because if he does not want bad press, Oxford University will not want bad press too. Let them know that the person that is financing them, he's actually sitting on the blood of thousands of his people, and he's doing nothing
Tens
about
of
it.
thousands.
Yeah, it's fine. I will send you the article. Let you read the article. I think somebody say I sent it to you. I think Teke sent it to you. Read it. He's actually financing Oxford University with Kaduna State money, apparently. And they will now be giving him good press, making him look like a good person. So please drag Oxford University also. Let them know that this man that you're collecting money from will see what he's doing. His blood money is giving you people. It's so unfortunate. All right, guys, thank you for joining us one more time on the platform. I think I'll just wrap it up here. Honestly, because if I start talking on that short man, we'll not leave this place. Thank you guys. Thank you, N6. Thank you, my brother. He stayed to the very end today. Thank you so much. Thank you. Tumba is doing some family runs. Thank you, Zos. Thank you. Mary White, Joel Obedience, Sheila. Thank you, guys. Guys, I could not bring up to speak. Please, I'm sorry. When this place we try to bring as much as possible, but we cannot. And most times, people are not patient enough. They fall off, and it's just the way it is. We cannot do everything. We cannot do the ones we can do. Please, I am a human being like you people. And I have blood running in my system also. Please, thank you guys. Hopefully I see all your faces on Thursday by 4 p.m. by God's grace. Or God's willing, we'll be back here and we'll be discussing about these issues. Please, I'm saying this all the obedience on the platform. Please, do not wait for anybody to tell you what to do. Do it. Do not wait for Saddam. Do not wait for NCs. Do not wait for anybody. Please do it. Whatever you believe that comes to your mind that you think is the right thing to do it. Please. Let me just use this moment to send also my brother's agenda. Omega XZ came up. Please, if you have cardboard paper, is not hard now. You can go and follow Omega XZ. His challenge is up there. You can also write our democracy as the hashtag. He's trending that also. If you have evidence of voters of how you were suppressed from voting either. I think some of you sent me videos. Please, you that sent me videos during pre-elections that you have gone to INEC offices and they have refused to give your ID, your PVCs. Please, those videos are needful right now. Contact Baron, our lawyer Baron. I think is also up on the jumbotron. Please, we're suing INEC. This has nothing to do with Peter Obi's case. We as Obedience, we as Nigerians, we have gotten sons that are ready to stand in for us. We are suing INEC. We're taking INEC Yakubu Mahmoud to court. Yakubu Mahmoud deserves to go to jail. We are having a class action against INEC itself. So we need all the evidence we can. If you have evidence of you being intimidated, you could not vote, you have those videos, you have those clips and everything, please, we need all those evidence right now. So please gather up your evidence. Why people are going to the tribunal, we're also taking Yakubu Mahmoud to court. We're trying to do everything within our own means. Also, please, what other agenda? Okay, yes, also the prayer space, please. Those that believe in prayers, please go and join them in prayer space. All right. Please, those that believe in protest, if you want to go and protest, go and join them and protest, please. Whatever you want to do in this movement, do it. Do not come and wait for Saddam to tell you what to do. I beg you. Thank you for you. I see all of you on the platform. Thank you, guys. Colade, thank you. I cannot thank all of you guys, but you guys are all amazing people. All of you stay from here to the from the beginning to the end. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. It's been an amazing space one more time, and hopefully, by the grace of God, we'll be back on the platform again on Thursday, Nigerian time. Thank you, Honorable Ada. I see you. Thank you, Duchess. Thank you, Hesley. Thank you, Polonium. Thank you, Ken. I see the names keep fluctuating up and down. Thank you. Each and every one of you on the platform, thank you. God bless you guys. We'll see again on Thursday. Hopefully, I don't know, please. Let me just say this here. Bayelsa State LP gubernatorial candidate. He was on the violence space before. I think before the elections, and he wants to come back on the violence space to explain. Many obedience are dragging him. I've been dragging him on the timeline for what his sister did, and me, I cannot come out and say anything. I'm not dragging him. I know my position. I don't have a position on him. So please, if you want him, should I bring him? He's disturbing. He wants to come on the violence space. He say he wants to come. So if people will drag him, people will drag him. So should we come bring on the violence space, or I'll take him to another space? People will still come. So if people want me to bring on the violence space, let me know. Let people listen to him. But if you don't want him to go on the violence space, it's still up on you guys. Let me know. But I'll take him to somewhere else at least. And then whenever I'll converge, people will still come there and hear him speak, hear his own side of the argument. You must not necessarily support him. I will wish we all support him and support all LP candidates, irrespective of where they're coming from, or irrespective of the party they're coming from. Because as we always say, we don't have two P2B, we just have one P2B, and we are trying to build this structure. And as long as we have gotten people that have come out and they have been screened by LP and they have made the list and come out and be shortlisted to come out to campaign, and they vote and pass through the delegate process, and it's a clear voting process, not a hijacked one. We might not like the choice. We might not like the person. As long as the person is not a criminal. Because if he's a criminal, I'll never ever come and my mouth and campaign for a criminal. I will never do that. If he's just a politician, I just don't. That's just my own 2 cents. And I always say my opinion. I don't, and that's why most of this I don't want to start talking, because people follow my opinion and say, Saddam, say this. No. So I'll leave it out for people that want to say whatever people think, people can do.
Even down to the new Imo candidates, some people say Peter Obi said we cannot create any new Nigerians again. Some people in this movement even voted for Buhari before. Will we say we wouldn't allow you to be obedient because you voted for Buhari before? You understand?
You understand. So it is
to collect power from Hope Uzodinma. Obviously, we said we need to get one kind of Agbero as well, because it won't be a Mary Amaka that will do it. So I worry about these things, but continue, Sada.
Yeah, too. When I see all this stuff, like I keep wondering. I'm like, politics is not politics. No matter how it is, we have as a movement, we have to first of all understand that yes, we are the morally right people in this movement. That's, in fact, you see, what I've learned from this whole stuff is that we are, that majority of obedience are people of goodwill. People that really want Nigeria to work, people that see themselves and want to mirror their leaders in how they see themselves. And that's why I understand why they call out most of these people. It's very, very well, I understand that very, because when you mirror yourself and look at yourself, you're not a criminal. They steal. You're a hardworking Nigerian. So you expect, and you're following Peter Obi that is not a criminal, he doesn't steal, he's hardworking Nigerian. You expect all our leaders to be the same way. So I understand those sentiments, but at the same time, we also have to understand that politics is not just all about, I don't even know how to put this picture right now, though.
It's not sentiment, to be honest.
Yeah, it's not sentiment, it's reality here. But I'm saying that all this, how do I put it now? So I don't get misconstrued in my words. I don't feel like if we in Obedient Movement were trying to build a party, or trying to follow a party, it should be Labour Party we are following. So whoever Labour Party pushes, thank you for the right word, emotions, not sentiments, emotions, yeah. So whoever Labour Party pushes is who I will support. when they were doing this emo stuff, I had so many people in my DM. I told people now, I said, many of these people in my DMs, different of the different camps, and our person, I just told them after we brought one here, I said, no, if you cannot bring all of them, it's better we don't bring any other more. I told all of them, go and do your primaries. Whoever emerges, I don't care who, as long as it's Labour Party, you people go and vote. Delegates vote. Whoever emerges as the most candidate, I will support. I don't know any of them personally. I don't have anything to do with any of them personally. But I say, whoever emerges, I will support. Why? Because I understand that we really need to start building Labour Party up. We need that. So it got to a point. I know plenty of people come out and say, no, I don't. That guy. I've not even read anything about it. They say he was so hopes of the man. I say, hey, God, which kind of question? Which kind wahala be this?
So do we then let hope continue because you don't like the man? These are my questions. These are the issues.
I think election is still, I think it's in November, so we still have months to that election. We'll still build up. I think all of us will come full circle. That's why most times I don't allow things to worry me, because I know that if there's anything in life that's a leveler, it's time. In due time.
So that my problem with obedience is this: obedience do not understand that if the person is on our side in our party, it's easier for us to, would I say, control this person. In our party, a decision was made that forms will cost 25 million naira. Obedience didn't like it. It didn't matter whether there were moles in the party, whether there were this thing. That matter was discussed by obedience, and the price of the average form was taken down in Labour Party. True or false, Saddam?
True.
So I don't understand why obedience go. They tell you, say, he say, hope who's or them my man. But so you mean to tell me that, okay, after our one governor now, maybe this Bielsa guy now, his sister is in PDP, then you don't want to work for him. It's not that the guy is a thief. He has a picture with Peter Obi. He has been helpful in Bielsa. He has come here. Some people are saying, I went to his tweets. He doesn't tweet about Peter Obi. Some people are not Twitter people. Some people, their Twitter is in the hands of their PA. It doesn't mean they're not doing work on ground. So I worry about these things, because before you know that, obedience will use sentiment, and we only end up with one governor. We are looking very good to win Imo State. We are looking very good to win Bayelsa. So I asked them, do we then leave the APC man in Bayelsa to continue? Do we then leave Hope Uzodinma in Imo State to continue? Let them answer me this question now. Peter Obi said we can't create any new Nigerians. Even Peter Obi formerly was in PDP. And many of us hate PDP now. Do we say we won't support Peter Obi? Peter Obi ran under Atiku. Do you want to say you won't support Peter Obi? We will not create new Nigerians. Eradire Dengs might have been in the APC before, but he is currently the LP candidate for Bayelsa State. So unless you say you don't need Bayelsa State, and Peter, because everybody, we fail to forget that Peter Obi is chasing our mandate. But Peter Obi also gave us a mandate: deliver governors for me. You know, Saddam, is like people forget that. People think that, you know, that in the issue of governors is optional. Let's stop this thinking. It's childish and it's naive, politically, very politically naive. As long as the person has gone through the Labour Party primaries and it was free and fair and declared as the rightful person, we all are supporting this person. Maybe when you don't win under Labour finish, you go can't look us, obedience, we put you there, can't tell us say you won't go follow Hope or they might be what. I don't understand. What's the worst that could happen? Obedience, I beg, let's cut this shit out and let's get back on board. We have 2 elections coming up, Imo and Bayelsa. And if we really galvanize and plan very well, we can end up adding 2 more governors to Alex Oti. You can choose to have sentiments, sentimentalize yourself, and then you end up delivering this thing back to Hope Uzodinma. God bless you all.
Thank you very much, Robert. I think you've said what you said that I will not say. I will not say I don't agree with most of what you've said. I think it is important you understand the power. My takeaway is that most times we underestimate the power we yield, and that's what I dislike about fearmongers and fear-mongering and projection of your personal fear in a movement that has toppled the government. You fear. You now think your fear is real. Your fear is your fear. It's not reality. Your fear is binding on you, not on me. I have seen a movement that crippled down an establishment that has been in power. 2 established parties have been in power for 20-something years. In 9 months, we crippled that establishment down and won an election. We are the most powerful force on earth. No movement on earth. I dare say, I'm thinking of the movement on earth. We are as powerful as we want to be. We are as powerful as we want to be. Let nobody ever come and diminish you or think of this movement less because of your fear. If this will happen, or limit this movement to a time frame, or a date. And that's exactly why I just really stood down to what NC is trying to say about putting in governors. No governor will come in, even Alex Oti, that they had to go and frame fake what he did not say and say he will say. He had to come out. There is nobody that understands that we come into power. They all understand the power the obedient movement yields, all of them, to the presidency. Ask. Go and ask around. To the security forces. That's why they come up on our spaces all the time. They understand. Now I say, we don't green out to it, we could drag Rufai. You will see. Please do not allow anybody make you underestimate the power we yield as a people. We are very, very, very powerful. All right, guys, thank you very much. I think we'll see again by God's grace. As I always say, God's grace, God's willing. Thursday, 4 p.m. Nigerian time. Attackers, I cannot bring you up. You came late. We have already shut down the space, my brother. We'll come back on Thursday. Hopefully, you come early to church. And if you come early, I will make sure you sit down in the front seat. I promise you that, my brother. Thank you, guys. God bless you all. Thank you, N6, for sticking around, my brother, to the very end. Thank you. God bless you. All of you. I'm sorry for one more time to those I could not bring up to speak. I beg. When I no verse on me, I beg. No verse on me. I have to sleep. It's past 3 a.m. where I am over here. Thank you, guys. God bless you one more time. See you guys, same session on Thursday, same church service, 4 p.m., same venue. Is the Vawulence Space Cathedral. As we always on this platform, we do this for God, for country, and for our families. Love you all. Good night and stay safe. Please, tomorrow, drag Rufai. God bless you all. Good night.